Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is SKTV coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Sekou Kene. As always, I want to say thank you to all of you for joining us this morning, this afternoon, this evening, depending where you are. I want to say thank you to all of you for following SKTV. I want to encourage you to share the show. Today is another day, another big day, another important day. Today is Sunday, November 19, 2023. I want to say thank you to all of you for following us, and I want to encourage you to go ahead and share the show. And we have a lot going on right now, a whole lot. You don't want to miss this conversation today. My colleagues will be joining me shortly. I don't know who are going to make it. I know for sure Steve is not going to be here today. Hopefully, he will make it, but I'm not sure. I mean, whatever the case is, other colleagues from Liberia will probably be on. But yes, indeed, Brazilian Monk will be here. But I want to encourage all of you to share the show. Yesterday, we said we're going to come on today to talk about some important things. And it has been a crazy week, if you will, a crazy weekend, because I've been going through a lot of different engagements, especially when it comes to family and community engagement. We want to say thank you to all of you for following SKTV. We want to encourage you to go ahead and share the show. Okay? While we share the show, we want to play Mohamed Jabi's song, Beautiful Song here. Enjoy it while we share the show. Let's do that right here. Mohamed Jabi. Nafati teria la manona Napenga kumakala me kanapori teria bo Nafati teri la manona Teria tola dala kumama atebona tusubona Nafati teria la bituni Teria tola dala kumama amasabati tusubona Nafati teria la bituni Teria kunye nyote menye Nyote membona teria la Nafati teria la bituni Teria kunya nyumo sutara mana boteria la Nafatu teria la tuni Iba kuala modo mai teri kenna tijate Muna gibe giri boteri po Iba kuala modo mai teri musonna ti posidere Muna gibe sotte woteri po Na yi fili kofe Iba namba fili kofe Ati balo ati teria bo Ni minka bife Iba namba Bete dia la beye, bete boya beye, ni sipiri me. Ifananko buluke, namanko enfase. Ifani babine dina mono pekitere musonna tijate, muna gibe giri wote po. Ifanamba fili kofe. Dunya babine dina mono pekitere chenno ti posidere, muna gibe tuntu wote po. Mulango santa na makofi na fara kwa sanke me odi fike Ifa namba kini koke Ibeso kasila mono bedu nyani tugala wadi bingini ngambo ndekirinyana Ibeso ban kasila mono bedu nyani tugala wadi bingini ngambo ndekirinyana Apollo de bilawa Ine mi bilawa Atapundo atanyini Apollo de bilawa Ina da bakaro de la Ina babekile Odena tedo tiria la Materia mi sigibundo Sabula bi mawamanisa motorisé, ça doit être un bonnet de camp. Mini ville de paix. Il va n'embarquer fini pour faire. Atibalo, atiberiamo, ni minkerike. Sawo katonya dula. Tete tiena bebe, bebe, ni mi séparé. Il va n'aki éloigné. Kabako kubidie. Omo sineta meka mosigida adate kumana. Makita tonde burkina sigida adate kumana. Tene ture tumba biga sigida adate kumana. Tata jambi me pari sigida adate kumana. Fatuma awatumba miliki sigida adate kumana. Madamu sisedete kumfuka. If a number finish for if a number sound of
So, we're going on properly.
Moment Javi. Bali malu lalu kana boli teria ko na fati teria langolona. Apenga kumakala me kana boli teria ko na fati teria langolona. Teria kola dala kumama ate bona tusubona na fati teria na bituni. Teria kola dala kumama amasabati tusubona na fati teria na bituni. Teria kunye nyote menye nyote membona teria la na fati teria na bituni. Teria kunye nyote sutara sutara mana bo teria la na fati teria na bituni. Iba kola modo mai teri kenna ti jate mona gibe giri mo teri ko. Iba kola modo mai teri musonna ti considere mona gibe sotte wo teri ko. Na ye feel ko fe. Iba namba feel ko fe. Ati balo ati fere abo ni minka bi fe. Iba namba sound fe. Bete dia la be bete boya be ni mingi sipiri be. Iba nanko buluke. Mamako efase. Ifani babine na mono bekitere musonna ti jate mona gibe giri wo teri ko. Iba namba feel ko fe. Dunya baby neni na mono bekitere chenno ti considere mona gibe tuntu wo teri ko. Itu mona mono go santa na ko fili na fara ka ko ana sanke me wo ti fili. If a number finish for pay. It is so Casilla Mono Pedro need to move what they begin in down when they carry Yana. If a super Casilla Mono Pedro need to put it up what they begin down when they carry Yana. Apollo the Villawa, and the Villawa. Atapundo Atani, Apollo de Villa, and the Bacaro de la.
Well, folks, I want to say thank you to all of you for sharing the show. Those of you who are yet to share the show, I want to encourage you to share the show. Today we are experiencing some technical glitches, but whatever the case is, we always do, we're going to have the show, and whatever be the problem later on, we can resolve it. But it's okay. So if at all by any means you are kicked out, just come back. If it kicks you out, come back. So I don't know how many of you follow my personal page. We have some information, some disturbing information to share with you from the perspective of the Liberian government officials, current government officials of Liberia. But before we get to that issue, you guys are not sharing the show. We're going to talk about the information that we have to share with you. But share the show first. We'll talk about that later on. But let me talk about what happened on my personal page. Yesterday, I posted several stuff on my page, and I went under attack, by a lot of people, which is, expected. And, when I posted yesterday, first of all, after the election, after the announcement by NEC, after announcing the almost 99% of the vote, like everybody else, we went ahead and congratulated Joseph Nima Boakai, the former vice president, as the president-elect. We did that, and we also offer our own prayer and advice on our personal page. And we keep on SKTV. Almost every member of our team that came on here did congratulate Ambassador Joseph Nima Boakai. And we all reference him as president-elect when we came on here. So now, during the show, we told everybody that it is incumbent upon Joseph Nima Boakai and his supporters to begin the process of transitioning from being an opposition political party that they have been in for the past 6 years to that of a government in waiting or a ruling party, to begin the transition to be a ruling party, an administration that are going to be responsible for the entire nation. And for some reason, many of them, especially for the ones on Facebook, are still finding it difficult to even acknowledge their own victory. Some of them are still finding it difficult, in as much as the President of the Republic of Liberia, current President George Manneh Weah, congratulated and placed a call to Ambassador Joseph Nima Boakai. Most of the people are yet to transition, even acknowledge that now the campaigns are over, that they need to focus on getting prepared for the new administration. Most of them still feel like they stay in the campaign mode. Most of them are still living in the past. Most of them are still angry. They are even angry. They're even angrier than the people that lost the election. I don't know what is driving their anger. I don't know why they are still continuing, why they still continue to live in hate. I posted something on my personal page that had nothing to do with politics. Because of the last campaign, some of them are still angry, going under my page that is unrelated to politics, on my personal page, not even SKTV, to attack me, to insult me, even going as far as in my inbox, attacking me. So, and I saw most of them celebrating. I have a platform. I never use SKTV to bully anybody. But if you go on my personal page, try to attack me, I've been there. Some of you just joined this whole thing when Facebook came around. But we have been around. So nobody can bully me. If you try it, you will be the loser. If you win the election and you know you won the election, your job is to relax, enjoy your winning. If need be, extend olive branch to people that you fought with. Even console them. Talk to them. Make them feel comfortable. Inform them that they too are winner. They are all winners. But instead, you are there bullying, attacking people, and when you're supposed to be a government in waiting, let me tell you something. This is the same reason why the CDC failed. And if you continue to do what you're doing right now, Joseph Boakai will fail measurably. Because you know what? You're already creating enemy for yourself. And it is different to be an opposition than to be a government. Because you have everything to lose. You have everything to defend. You have message to be put out there. You have image to sell to the world. So if you win an election, the first thing you do, you extend an olive branch. You reach out to people. You respect everybody. You console people who are frustrated that they lose. But if you are the one, you are the winner, but you're behaving like a sole loser, then something terrible is going on with you. At this point, like I said, we have some breaking news to share with you when it comes to the Liberian current government officials. We have some disturbing information to share with the Liberian people. We're going to talk about it later on, but I'm just telling you what is going on right now. So, I even saw some of them celebrating people that spend years, 6 years, insulting George Manneh Weah, the president, and his mother and his entire family. I saw you celebrating people who bully the president, bully his wife, bully his children, bully his entire family for years, for 6 years. So yesterday, I just gave you a little bit taste of your own medicine. Imagine, I did not even insult Joseph Boakai. But I wanted to test to see how you guys feel. How you feel about what you did, about what you're celebrating right now. You are celebrating people that insulted George Weah for 6 years. People that did not spend 1 minute talking substance. People that were there insulting the president 24/7. You are there celebrating those people. They insulting the president's mother on a daily basis. They insulting the president's wife. They insulting his children, his entire generation, and his government officials. So yesterday, when I posted advising those people that is one thing to be a government, quite another thing to be an opposition. If you're in an opposition, you don't have much to lose. But if you are the government, you have everything to lose. You have your image. You don't want to spend all of your time defending or fighting people that are not in government. You can't waste, you're going to spend all of your time defending yourself. So yesterday, when I referred to Joseph Boakai, as a half president, the whole sky broke loose. All of you went crazy simply because I called Joseph Boakai a half president. You think bullying is a good thing? And I've said this before. The medicine for a bully is to bully them. And I'm a master of bullying, I can tell you that. But I don't do it. I like to discuss issues. If you think you can bully people, especially we in the media, by myself, without SKTV, I have a lot of followers. If you want to talk trash, I can talk trash. That's why I don't even like to go on my on SKTV to put all those personal things there. If I want to say certain thing, I want to do certain thing, I go on my personal page. I'm entitled to that. I have the right to say whatever I want to say on my page. So when I call Joseph Boakai a half president, that hurt you that you want to die. You all went amok. Like the sky is falling. Imagine people who are going to dedicate themselves, who are going to take their time for the next 6 years, insulting Joseph Boakai's mother, insulting Joseph Boakai, saying all kind of things about Joseph Boakai. How you going to feel? See now, I just called him a half president. I didn't even insult him. I just congratulated him. I asked that we're going to pray for him. We're going to pray that he succeed, because if he succeed, Labrador will succeed. I just did that. But you were there attacking me, right? And I just threw just one line, calling Joseph Boakai a half president. You all went crazy. That means you have a lot to deal with in the next 6 years. Some of you were buying cars, sending thousands of dollars to bullies, to people to insult other people, simply because you didn't like them. We said the same thing. Before the election, we said it. I said, if you are ANC person or Liberty Party person, if you insult the president, how will you feel if Alexander Cummings becomes president? How will you feel if somebody is insulting Cummings' mom and dad every day and insulting Alexander Cummings? How are you going to feel? I said that to you. We said to you, how are you going to feel if Joseph Boakai becomes president? People will be there to insult Joseph Boakai on a daily basis, insulting his mother. Poor mother that have nothing to do with politics. How are you going to feel? We told you that. Now, I just gave you a little bit taste of your own medicine, that you all going crazy. I have nothing against Joseph Boakai. I have nothing absolutely against Joseph Boakai. You see how life looking? Life is not fair. And the reason why I call Joseph Boakai a half president, that statement is predicated upon what we said before. We said Joseph Boakai does not make decisions for himself. And we said that his decision making are very poor. We said he was not a good leader. We said that Jeremiah Kun will be the de facto president and Prince Johnson will be the one to direct the country. We told you that Joseph Boakai was not healthy, that Joseph Boakai it's going to be just there as a matter. But those conversations will come. Not because Joseph Boakai won the election means that everything is 100% correct with him now. No, that's not how it works. Not because Joseph Boakai won the election, it means that Joseph Boakai now health has been restored. No. Because Joseph Boakai won the election, mean that now the man's judgment, process has been elevated? No. Not because Joseph Boakai won the election doesn't mean that things that were said in the past, especially when it comes to his judgment, when he comes to his decision making, is Joseph Boakai going to be a Bobo president, even past George Weah? We don't know. But what I'm telling you, you got to brace yourself for the worst. If you are a bully, if you pay people to insult other people, to insult the president, to insult his mother, to insult his family, and now by me calling Joseph Boakai a half president, then you going crazy, then you got a long way to go. It may not be coming from me. I may not be the one to insult Joseph Boakai. I'm not going to insult him. I'll never insult any president. I'm never going to insult Joseph Boakai. As a matter of fact, if Joseph Boakai takes over as president of the Republic of Liberia, I will respect him, not only because he is an older man, but I will respect the office of the presidency. So I may not be the one to insult him. And I did not even insult him. I was just trying to see how you guys want to react. I'll call Joseph Boakai a half president. You get angry. You want to shoot me now. Oh, okay. So Joseph Boakai is better than other people. Joseph Boakai is better than George Weah. Joseph Boakai is not. He's a human being. George Weah is not a human being. So you think about it. So now my question now to all of you, in fact, who were surviving by insulting George Weah, who was surviving by insulting his mother, how are you going to survive when George Weah is no longer in power? That is the reason why we said discuss the issue, because issue will always be there to be discussed. There will always be pertinent issues, important issues in the country that matter to the Liberian people. There will always be information that Liberian people want to hear. But if you are so bankrupt intellectually that you own a bank and traffic on insult and disrespect as the only means of getting support, of getting viewership, only to insult, what happened if George Weah is not in the picture? Are you going to turn the bazooka to Joseph Boakai to insult his mother and his father and every day, to insult his supporters, to insult his ministers, to insult anybody related to Joseph Boakai so that you can survive again? Who else are you going to insult now in the country that will be more than the presidency? Nobody else. Are you going to be irrelevant now? I'm speaking to those people who can be celebrating people that will be insulting people or the presidency. That is why we told you, and we'll continue to say, always try, by all means, focus on the issue, discuss the issue, talk about the ills in the society, talk about what matters to the Liberian people. But the idea of insulting people, some of the older women and men that came yesterday to attack me, they were celebrating everybody that insulted Joseph or President Weah. They were celebrating Prophet Key. They celebrated, and they still celebrating the lives of Eugene Fangon. They celebrated Staton Witherspoon. They celebrated Obe. They celebrated all the crazy people that say all kind of crazy things about George Weah. But yet, you want to set one standard for George Weah as president and quite another standard for Joseph Nima Boakai. That's not how life should be supposed to be. That's not how life's supposed to be. If it's white, let it be white all the time. If it's black, let it be black all the time. You cannot We cannot say, oh, respect the man our president. What about just George Weah? He's not a president? Was he not elected? We will come back to give all of you the taste of your own medicine. All of you. Now, you should be asking yourself, okay, we deny the fact that Joseph Boakai was not sick. Now that Joseph Boakai now elected president, is he still going to go back to America for the triple bypass surgery? Or no, you're going to be okay? Is Joseph Boakai going to be a transparent president? Is Joseph Boakai surrounding going to be open-minded? Going to be somehow transparent? Are we going to see what's going on in Joseph Boakai's life, personal life as president of our country? Is Boakai still going to go to Rochester for surgery? Or Boakai is 100% okay, fit and ready for on day one to serve? This should be your worry right now, because you defended all of those things simply because you wanted Joseph Boakai to be elected. Now Joseph Boakai is elected. What next? Is he fit? Does he have the judgment? Is Joseph Boakai ready to lead on day one? How is Joseph Boakai going to organize his government? How the appointment going to look? Appointments going to look like? Who are the people that are going to be serving the Joseph Boakai government? Is this government going to be a government of inclusion, or is this going to be a tribalist government? Is Joseph Boakai going to, tread on tribal line or party line? Is Joseph Boakai going to be a president for every Liberian or for only United Party people? Joseph Boakai going to be president for only Kisi people or Lofa people, or Joseph Boakai going to be president for all Liberians? Those should be your worry. Is Joseph Boakai going to appoint competent people that will deliver for him and for Liberia? Those should be your worry. Instead of living in the past, attacking people who disagree with Joseph Boakai, attacking people who never support Joseph Boakai in the campaign. Campaigns are over, and you're still living in the past. You got someone to contend with. Someone, we're not going to let you go free. If you bring it to us, if you bring one step, we'll go 10 steps. Because you know what? You're the government. You should be the one setting the stage for real conversation that can move the country forward. But you are there insulting people who disagree with Joseph Boakai, who never supported Joseph Boakai because you won an election. Now, so what? They shouldn't have life. Then when I say Joseph Boakai was half president, then you get angry, you want to die? Go and drink acid water. Go and drink acid water right now, or shoot yourself in the head. You guys are crazy. Joseph Nima Boakai will be president for Liberia. Not only United Party people, not only Kisi people, not only Lofa people, but for those who supported him, those who did not support him, he's going to be president for everybody. So get used to it. You should be worried that everything, all the challenges, everything that people say about Joseph Boakai, you should come and prove them wrong. We want to see Joseph Boakai walking, jogging, celebrating his victory. We want to see Joseph Boakai speaking soundly, with strong voice that can resonate. We want to see Joseph Boakai looking presidential. We want to see Joseph Boakai extending olive branch to his friends, to other people who were not elected. Extending olive branch to other people who are still in government right now. They're going to be leaving soon. You should be worried about those things. You say, hey, God, we said Joseph Boakai was healthy. God, please don't make Joseph Boakai to go to Rochester for this triple bypass surgery. Let Joseph Boakai be fit. Let Joseph Boakai be healthy. Let Joseph Boakai be the president that can represent us. People say Jeremiah could not come to America. This should be your concern. The first thing I want to see in the first 100 days, I want to see Jeremiah Kun as vice president traveling the world, including the United States. Everywhere. Representing Liberia. That's what I want to see. That should be your worry. You want to make sure that Jeremiah, and we tell you that Jeremiah Kun not got no problem. And Jeremiah Kun in America not standing with body, meeting with, Congress people, meeting with people in the United States. Those things should be worried. Instead of you living in the past, worrying about who supported Bagai, who did not support Bagai, insulting people, even going into people personal, on the people personal page, attacking them on things that had nothing to do with politics. You must be losing your mind. So, Saros, welcome. And I have something I said I'm going to share with Liberian people. So, yesterday, we were reliably informed that some government official within George Weah government that they are looting the resources of the country. The money that they stole in while they were in office, it was not enough for some of them. We have been, SKTV is reliably informed that some government officials are preparing to take for themselves things that belong to Liberia. Not even worried about what happened. I hope you're paying attention. That some government officials in the Weah-led government are taking government property across the borderline. In fact, in the coming days, we'll be coming up with names of people, government officials that are doing it. Even last night. Can you imagine? Among things that they are carrying behind the scene, in terms of money, in terms of other things we don't know, but things that were stopped already. They're taking cars. Can you imagine? Government cars that were purchased with Liberian people money, through taxpayer money, that some government officials from Weah-led government are running away with some of it. Taking government car, expensive cars across. I'm not talking about small picking them. People then that were assigned key government cars that they're supposed to return are now escaping or even sending things away across the borderline. As I was speaking last night to somebody, to one of the sources, we were informed that, oh, here's what's going on. They show us some proof that government officials are running away or taking cars, government cars across the country to go and sell it. Some of them trying to escape the country after the inauguration of the new government. They want to have those properties across Liberia. Imagine spending 6 years looting the country, spending 6 years stealing from the Liberian people. Now that you are on your way out, you're not worrying about being audited. You're not worrying about your property being confiscated. You are not worried about going to jail for stealing from the Liberian people, but you are there running away, taking Liberian government cars across. In fact, yesterday we heard something that this government of George Weah, imagine they have money to airlift, to have airlifted hundreds of former rebel, the Kafale, the Prince CEO, and all the other guys from Grand Nigeria to Morovia. You have money to airlift those people, but you never have money to put proper mechanism in place to make sure that the electoral process is free, fair, and transparent. Even at your own detriment, you could not put in place a process that should have been fair, free, and transparent. You could not even defend your own servers. You could not even defend your own National Elections Commission's website. But you have money to bring rebels to spend money to airlift rebels from Grand Nigeria and other part of the Southeast. Hundreds of them. And the ones that are running away with cars, we have been giving some names. And we will expose them. We still have time. George Weah is still president. We have end of this month. We have December. We have some days in January. People who running away with government cars, they will be exposed. Also, in other news, the one they call fire in Soweto. Serious fire in the CDC camp. Crime stay ongoing. Threat is ongoing. Blame game has just started. It will be worse. Allegations are flying around. In fact, the same people that conspired against Liberia and the Liberian people are now exposing each other. But anyway, we will leave that for all conversation later. Welcome, Sarah. So what's going on in Liberia?
Thank you, Mr. Kane. Thank you very much. Let me say good evening, happy Sunday to you and the rest of our SKTV family, our supporters. Let me say happy Sunday. In Liberia, it's cool here and we are good. And I stand by my own boss, Steve Bole, to say that when we are the most beautiful women ever.
Well, how can you not say, you can't say the other thing? They say like people are the most important people.
Yeah, no, they are important, yeah, but
you wouldn't let the women apart. Yeah. No, I know what you're up to. Let me be your boss now. Don't be like your boss, man.
Oh, Mr. Karen, you give me breaking news here.
I'm bringing it. I said, don't be like your boss, man, Steve.
You said, well, be that event, breaking news you give me here.
Yeah, because your boss, man, you can say anything.
So, yes, Mr. Karen, and I retain that Liberia women are the most beautiful women on earth. And Liberia is cool with here. Like you said, and let me say kudos to my boss. I presented Monk in the background. Like you said, there are playing games, and it's true. In the president's speech, there's a part that he said he was going to be at the headquarters of the CDC on Saturday. That is, but to my utmost surprise, the president could not make it there because even supporters are not even happy to see the president right now. But I managed to make my way there. I met Koji, I met Adukane, and the rest of the folks. They were there with people, on the normal tree. And I had the SKTV tag. I just faced the tag for my new SKTV logo, just for identification. So and when I showed the tag to enter, they allowed me to enter. But when I enter, I met them beating on a guy, seriously beating on him on Saturday. When I asked for what reason, they said the guy was recording and they never needed nobody to record. So so there's no press yet? Yeah, so they said there's no press yet. So I said, okay, but then let me just take my leave. And that was how I left the place. So right now there is serious fire in the camp of the CDC. Citizens are not happy with the president's decision to congratulate the former vice president ahead of the NEC national announcement, the NEC final announcement. So I don't know, but maybe there is something that they have under their sleeves. But I think it was just by the grace of God that the president did what he did, because they did not put in place mechanism, because Liberia was at a crossroad. And I can tell you, out of the UP, with the kind of result that has been announced from the National Election Commission, the UP would not have accepted any result different than what they expect. So that alone will cause serious chaos in the country. That's what's important the most. Even though we stand by what we say, we don't believe in the UP to be the change it is. They claim it themselves to be. We don't believe that they are any different from the CDC, because they've never shown nothing different in the past 12 years. But at least for the sake of peace, Liberia has enjoyed a fragile peace. We all know in this country, Mr. Kane, the peace of our country is still fragile. Our democracy is still young. So it was just by the grace of God that the president did what he did, because he has caused chaos. And citizens are seriously mad. They are seriously. On SKTV page, there's a guy who, he got hurt by a citizen, was celebrating JMB. It's on SKTV page. That is Patrick from Magidi, one of our reporter, did that interview. So yes, there's still tension in Liberia here. I would tell you that for a fact. There is still tension, even though the president has, sent a message to JMB congratulating him as president-elect ahead of the supreme national body that should be doing that. And for that reason, I don't know how true it is, but there's speculation that the president has been sued with a $2 million charge for, according to NEC, that he shouldn't have, congratulated the president-elect in the president's view, the president-elect, because of that, according to NEC, announcement. So the National Election Commission has found the president $2 million. I don't know how true that information is, but we're still on it. So yes, these are the news for now. But let's see how tomorrow will be, Monday. NEC will be giving her final, announcement tomorrow in regards to who wants the election, officially tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. the normal time. So we will be there. Our reporter will be in. We will be, to see how it like, and to bring all the happenings to the Liberian people. And in case of anything in Liberia, we'll bring you all the news. But I can tell you there's still tension in the country. That even though the president congratulated Joseph Boyka, but citizens are on the rampage. They are very desperate. They are angry. They are bitter about that. So there's still tension here. Yes.
So thank you so much, Saros, for that brilliant input. We really, really appreciate it. So my question to you now, say you're on the ground there. What about the mood of the Unity Party people? Are they behaving on the ground just like they are behaving on Facebook? Because you got some of them on Facebook that are really, really crazy. They got some good people. There are a lot of good people that came on board of the state of the UP prior to the election. But there are some of them who just don't get it. Are they behaving the same way on the ground like they are doing on Facebook? Attacking people who were one-time opponents, or some people that never supported Boakai, that supported other political parties? Are they still behaving to people the same way they are doing on Facebook or on social media?
Yes. On social media, yeah, some of them are still behaving that way. Like you said, there are a lot of good people and who are mature in the UP and they got on board. But it's kind of like I said, the last time you asked a question as to if the former vice president who, will be the president-elect tomorrow per NEC final result, the first, when it comes to good leadership and moving Liberia forward, if that is the sole purpose of the former vice president, then he need to begin with reconciling the country, because the bitterness is too much in the country. The country is heavily divided. There are a lot of folks of the Unity Party who, some of my friends that I know, they attack me here, like, oh, you didn't support us. Like when they're joking, they're celebrating where I start playing fun and, oh, you didn't support us. Your enemy are like, you don't know what politics is, especially when people are struggling for power. It's not a gift. Nobody give power out like a gift. People fight for it, and when you deserve it, you take it. So the thing you should be worried about here is not the winning of Joseph Boyka, but how Joseph Boyka going to govern and make the difference than what the CDC did in the past 6 years. And yes, I will tell you, there are supporters of the Unity Party who are still like that on the ground here. They still reject people are able to say they are not Liberian. They still have problem that they've been criticized. All their political leaders were checkmate, and they believe that nobody's supposed to criticize Joseph Boyka, which even now he's now president-elect as of tomorrow. Let's say that way. He will be criticized more while he is the president, because the criticism of yesterday was just the prelude of the ones the president he's about to take right now as president of the country. So they haven't gotten that yet. There are a lot of them who are still bitter. There are a lot of them who believe that Boyka is coming to be president for them. The Unity Party people who voted for him or who supported him, they believe that because they defended him, so he's coming to be president for them. They haven't still realized that the former vice president is a president of all Liberians now, regardless of your tribe, your religion, and whatever you're from, whichever county you're from. They fail to realize the former vice president is now the president of all Liberians. They are still attacking people it's not just on Facebook. They are still attacking people. The country is heavily divided. So I don't know if the vice president will make a very good president. You need to begin with reconciling the country. That is very, very paramount at this moment.
So I agree with that, and that will also, we will also know that based on the appointments that Joseph Boyka is going to do, the first appointments, Is Joseph Boakai going to appoint people based on partisan affiliation? Is Joseph Boakai going to appoint people based on competence? Is Joseph Boakai going to appoint people from across the aisle, regardless of their political affiliation, but based on qualification and competence? Is Joseph Boakai going to be a president that will unite the Liberian people, go across political party lines to appoint competent people? Is Joseph Boakai going to appoint all the Unity Party people? I don't know. Like Jowea tried to do, to appoint all the incompetent Peking and just to satisfy them. And the ones that were not appointed became, rebel for him. In fact, they were very instrumental in electing Senator Dillon twice. Angry seditions. We call them disenfranchised seditions. Is Joseph Boakai going to be somebody who's going to really appoint on trouble line? Because he's a Kisi mayor, because he's from Lofa, because, he was heavily supported by his people. Is Joseph Boakai going to actually do his appointment based on love for country, but not for people? And how Prince Johnson is going to be instrumental. Hold on 1 second. So those are things that you want to see. One thing too, I want to bring to your attention and to the attention of all of our Liberians. Joseph Boakai and the Unity Party, before they never used to see Unity Party alliance. They used to see a Unity Party. Unity Party never allowed their identity to be changed going into these elections. Everybody that followed them, everybody that joined them, carries the name, some attachment of Unity Party. We call it Unity Party Alliance. However, in the second round, there are other parties that join ACO. That join Unity Party, including ACO and other party. Let's say, what's his name? Apeton. Even though we don't know who is Apeton in terms of, politics. But there was some agreement signed. SKTV is in possession of some of the agreements. Is Joseph Boakai going to live by those agreements? As you always say, that SKTV is source of information. We have in our possession some of the information, some of the agreement that Joseph Boakai accepted. Things that he said he will not do, we're also in the know of those things. But things that he said he will do, is he going to live by those promises between him and people that jump on board with him? He's talking about positions in government, talking about some critical issues, and some of the things are very much compelling. Is Joseph Boakai going to actually be the same ungrateful Joseph Boakai that was presented to the Liberian people, that this man does not end friendship, that this man does not value loyalty, that this man cares less about what you do for him, what you will do for him? Is Joseph Boakai going to slap those people in their faces? Or is Joseph Boakai going to be a different Boakai this time around, who will actually live by the promises he made to those people who came over to support him? Is Joseph Boakai going to consider those people that are helping him now, that are helping to get elected, that are helping him to get started? Is he going to consider them? Or are the people around Joseph Boakai will allow Joseph Boakai to make the right decisions that will somehow show some level of gratitude in the interest of Liberia, in the interest of peace, in the interest of one nation? Is Joseph Boakai going to be the one making the decision? Are we going to know whether or not Joseph Boakai is going to be the one to make the decision on the first 100 days? Are we going to know that? So those are important things that we would like to see. And people who supported Boakai, who came in group, notably Aku, for example. Aku was very instrumental in galvanizing support for Joseph Boakai, even though Aku was divided. But we were very clear that we said the leadership of Aku who carried the lion's share of the support based on Aku. Some Aku supporters voted for George Weah, but Aku was very instrumental. If you look at the results from that whole Somalia Drive belt, if you look at the result, precinct by precinct, district, you can tell, especially district number 2 and other parts down this line, they voted heavily for Joseph Numa Boakai. How Joseph Numa Boakai is going to perform in terms of living up to the promises he made to those people? And how are they going to react to it? Again, the people that supported Joseph Boakai, how are they going to manage expectation? Because it's one thing they say, oh, okay, I supported the mayor, then expect the man to go to the level that he doesn't want to go. Are they going to be overly ambitious? Are they going to actually overstep their bound? Are they going to set up higher expectation that Joseph Boakai can handle? Or are they really going to do what is right? Are they going to box Joseph Boakai to confuse him to the extent where he doesn't even know how to help them? Are they going to lower their expectation? Or is Joseph Boakai going to go above and beyond to live by the agreement that they have? Brother Lemon, welcome, my brother.
What's up, Sekou? What's up, Cyrus Nemane and the rest of the listening audience? Another day, all things Liberia, and we are here again. We made the pledge that we'll be here all the time to give the Liberian people the news and information and sometimes entertainment that they deserve, not what they want to hear. And the point you raised earlier, those are salient points. You people need to migrate from this campaign mode into governance, because there's a difference between being opposition and a ruling party. When you're the ruling party, the nation is looking up to you. That's why some of us, we told the people that supported Georgia in 2017, you could criticize Madam Sirleaf all you want for 12 years. The fact of the matter is, are you willing to leave from day one? And we were vindicated 6 years later. You know, sometimes when I look at the Liberian, when I assess the Liberian political scape, the people who were pushing the Georgia narrative out of emotion, for me, I know there is no humanly possible way that Georgia would have been a successful president. You know, when I came on Facebook for I used to give the platform, I mean, there's an analogy between a carpenter and a mechanic. I always tell Liberian people, when you are driving and your car got stuck in the middle of nowhere, you walk to a nearby village and ask for the best mechanic. And the people say, oh, we got one guy who is the best mechanic. And you requested that mechanic service. Even if the mechanic never gave you the satisfaction you needed from your job or from that work, or he never repaired your car, is that a reason to hire a carpenter to come and fix your car? That's exactly what you did with Georgia. You may be mad with Madam Sirleaf. You can hate Madam Sirleaf all you want. Georgia was never prepared to be a president. We told you from day one. Georgia only came to loot to replace his ill-begotten wealth. I mean, his previous wealth from soccer, he was never interested in governing because it's almost like a scientific law in almost every country. When a president comes to power, they want to work overtime, get things in place. They may be second term before they can relax a little bit. But these guys started stealing from day one. It took this man 90 days to start bringing down his property, and you somehow still believe that he came to govern. No, he only came to steal. And 6 years later, we are vindicated. It's the same question you should start asking yourself now about Joseph Boakai. You know, leadership is like marriage. Marriage doesn't change you. Only change your last name and put a ring on your finger. If you are a criminal, you will remain a criminal after marriage. If you are a cheater, you will remain a cheater after marriage. So our people should start asking themselves, are you mostly interested in the country winning, or you are only interested in your side winning? Because from what I'm looking at, I can bet you 100%, sure, guarantee, you can record my voice, you can keep the podcast. I don't expect nothing much to change in terms of corruption, in terms of governance, in terms of maybe, I would say, people who calling for war crimes code, you can kiss it goodbye. Joseph Boakai not going for no war crime code. That won't happen. The only thing I can tell you that will happen, maybe they will mitigate. I don't think maybe they will mitigate the inflow of drugs coming into the country, and they will be a little bit responsible than CDC. That too, I can guarantee. But when you talk about reconciliation, no, that's not going to happen, because I know the old man himself, he's vindictive, and the people that's... let me tell you something. If these people couldn't even entertain ideas when they were opposition, what make you think now that they have acquired state power, you think that they will change? You should be living a fantasy universe. You should be living a dreamland. It's not going to happen. Reconciliation will not happen. War crimes code is not coming. In Liberia, from an economic standpoint, if your life sucks right now, your life will stay sucks, whether you like it or not, because Joseph Boakai just doesn't have what it takes to grow an economy in this modern day and age. But I can tell you, he will be there. He will make some better decisions. The country will be a little bit better off in terms of extrajudicial killing, in terms of drugs coming to the country. I don't think Joseph Boakai will allow that to happen on his watch. But fundamentally, nothing is going to change. And I give you the first 90 days, you will have a clue. Look at the making up of the government. Look at the people that will be that will be appointed to cabinet position. And I know, because I'm getting some information that Prince Johnson is saying that he did well in Nima County to secure Joseph Boakai when what he did in your own county of Lofa. So they want at least 40% of all government positions. I don't know how true it is, but that's a speculation. And there will be power sharing. So at the end of the day, Liberia just about to become the next staffing agency for JAR rather than you changing the trajectory of your life. That's just what I see. Because for you guys, you are so interested in your side winning than Liberia winning. So don't expect nothing else to change. It's just the changing of the guy, old players being replaced by new players. But fundamentally, I don't see any major change, because I know at the age, I guess say maybe 78 or 80, we show our age yourself for Joseph Boakai. He's not going to learn new tricks. He's too old to learn something new. He's just going to show you exactly who he is from an individual standpoint. That's just why leadership, that's what leadership is all about. Leadership reveal a person true identity. It don't change anything about them. That's it.
So Monk, let me ask you before I go back to Cyrus. You talk about Prince Johnson, even though it's a speculation, but I just want you to elaborate on it a little bit, arguing that they did well more than Joseph Boakai did in Lofa,
which is in Lofa County.
So Prince Johnson, one of his reasons not to support our President Weah in the second term was because he said they never get enough ministerial position. So now, are they proving us right when we said Prince Johnson is going to be very instrumental in the government if Boakai was elected? Now that we are hearing these things now, should we brace ourselves for the real show when it comes to who is going to be serving in what position?
For sure. They're going to test the VP, or the former vice president or president-elect character. When you're in government, you got to be dealing with opposing idea, opposing character, people with different ideas and dreams about how they want to conduct government. So when you are the head, that's when it gets complicated, because you are dealing with so many external forces. You got the MDR, you got the ARCOP group, you got people that put their heart and soul into the Boakai campaign. Everybody wants something. The question is, how do you manage expectations as a good leader? That's where leadership comes in. This is where decision making comes in. And from the history, I cannot bet 100% when it comes to decision making on the part of Joseph Boakai. But I know, and that's a fact, that Prince Johnson, George Weah put on more of a fight in Lofa County in comparison to Nema County, looking at the numbers. So Prince Johnson now want to make the claim that, you know what, even though you are the president-elect, but you know the guy who's on your ticket as well, that's my puppet. So technically, I have a stake in this government. And from the numerical standpoint, I also have a stake to make in this government. You cannot be the one running the show 100%. And that's where the conflict will come from, because I know Unity Party folks, the folks that surround Joseph Boakai, the people that are in your inner circle, they will not stand for that. That would be the first drama. You see, when you study philosophy, they got it kind of a philosophy they call Stoicism. Stoicism teach people to practice something they call negative visualization. The reason being, bad things will always happen in life. Whether you're a good person or you're a bad person, it's just part of life. So instead of always thinking on a positive, sometimes you have to brace yourself for the negative so that when it happens, it can be strange to you because these things are more likely to happen. We know these things will happen, and it's part of the formation of government when you bring in a new government into place to select the individual that will serve. So we can expect that it's just going to happen. We're not going to see now how the vice president is going to react in those instances, but they are most definitely going to happen. That's just what the making of a government is. They call it the team of rivals. You bring in people with opposing ideas on board to work together. And we saw it with the CPP, the most recent one. So that alone is a historical fact that you can point out to see, okay, the CPP were just 4 collaborating parties, not too many of an individual. You only have Boakai or Cummins or Benena Yuri and Yomli Kanga. Now, if you couldn't navigate the CPP properly, what make you think you would navigate other collaborating parties or people that help make you president to be able to share government position evenly for everybody to think that it was fair and transparent on their part? It will be a tough thing. So we are waiting to see what the president-elect is going to do. And on the same thing of a war crimes code. You know, one sedition posted today, we hope Joseph Boakai prosecute war crimes. I think you got to be kidding, right? You told us in 2017 that George Weah was the perfect president to push for the war crime code, for the fact that he never held gun, he never supported an insurrection. But guess what? When he became president, the first question he asked the Liberian people, why you didn't call for war crimes code on Madam Salif? And somehow, you want me to believe that the guy who said he would dance with devils for the sake of winning, and he won. You want me to expect that Joseph Boakai will bring war crimes code to Liberia? You should be living in a dream world. It will never, ever happen. Kiss that goodbye.
So, Cyrus from Liberia, do you expect Joseph Nema Boakai to retain some sedition in government? Talking about key players, not the civil servants, but people holding appointed positions. Do you think Joseph Boakai will retain some of those people? Any sedition for that matter? Do you think,
Mr. Kane, that can be possible when the president-elect, as president of the country, the former vice president, start to reconcile Liberian. Why I say this? I say this because I know how entitled the UP folks are. I know how they feel that they've been with Boakai in this thing from time to time. They believe that and I will tell you this for free, Mr. Kane. There are a lot of the UP folks who have the same ideology of the seditions. CDC, when CDC came to power, with a mindset that this is our time. They believe that they've suffering opposition for 12 years and they've been, maltreated for 12 years, they've been rejected. So for that reason, they believe that it was their time. The same thing is happening as we speak, with the kind of vindictiveness from United Party, with the kind of entitlement folks from the United Party continue to show, even after their candidate has won the election and they're about to take government positions. I would tell you, yes, the president-elect, Joseph Boakai, will want to retain competent citizens, qualified citizens, but how can we see the possibility of it when we see the bitterness currently, even with folks the folks that was in the same opposition cycle with the United Party, when folks from the United Party believe that these people do not even believe in belongs to their government. These people not supposed to work in their government because they did not support Boyka or because they criticized Boyka for something that he did wrong. Then how now can we believe that the president-elect, Joseph Boyka, will want to retain seditions within his government when he has not reconciled the country first? First, before you bring people who were against you yesterday, you got to establish the path of peace. You got to establish a smooth working path. When the relationship is not smooth, you will not definitely work together, Mr. Collins. So I will tell you no for now until I see that the president-elect can reconcile the country. If the president can reconcile the country with the level of, the level of bitterness in the country right now, I don't see that happening. I don't see it. I don't see no possibility until the president-elect can reconcile the country, because they believe that this is their town, and they live with this bitterness that because you didn't support Boyka, that means you're not supposed to work in their government. So when the president-elect reconcile the country and bring that peace and bring that good cordial, that good relationship, working relationship with all of his people as Liberian and not as Unity Party folks or people who did not agree with him yesterday when you were in opposition, then I will know that he's ready to work with everybody. But for now, I will tell you no.
And Cyrus, just to double down your point, let me just make this point clear. This is why I believe reconciliation will not happen. Based on this election, right? The way the CDC-led government governed the country, people got mad. People believe that Georgia was so irresponsible and reckless. And one of the reasons that Josiah Nyeman Boyka was even considered to be the one this time to replace Georgia, something that had never happened in the history of Liberia. Not even the True Wind Party were able to duplicate that, was the fact that people expect Joseph Boyka to go after Georgia in a way never before seen in Liberia history in terms of bringing people to the books and accountability. So that is where I believe that that whole idea about unification, you can kick it off the table, because Joseph Boyka will want to prove a point. He will want to set an example, because that's why the vast majority of his supporters are expecting. Whether it's the legs of Fena Bono, whether it's the Samuel Twer, whether it's the Eugene Namwe, whether it's Georgia himself, we know for the first time that a first lady will ever incorporated into our national budget. We saw it under our administration that is unconstitutional. So for this, the whole idea that somehow there will be some kumbaya movement, will be reconciliation, will be all those, it's not going to happen, because it means Joseph Boyka will be setting himself up for instant failure, and that's not something you will agree to. So I know there will not be a reconciliation, because he will go after them, and Sidisha will not take it lightly as well. So that rift will remain for a very long time. It's not going to happen. In as much as people want to be optimistic and think that the best will happen, no, it won't happen. You can take that off the table. It's not negotiable. It won't work.
So then what happened? What happened? I hope I'm wrong. What would be the mood of Liberians, Seditians, if Joseph Boyka decides to go and do what he refused to do prior to the election? Joseph Boyka decided to go to any country, whether it's in the United States now or anywhere, to go and attend some processes for his health. What if that happened? How the country would look like under President or maybe Vice President Jeremiah Kung? Joseph Boyka is to go somewhere to have the medical procedures that is believed to maybe last for at least 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months. How the country will look like? Who will be in charge? And the follow-up to that, who do you think will be the McGill of Joseph Boyka?
You want me to go first, or Sarah should go?
Yeah, you can go first.
Second, the scenario you just live is a fair process. It's a fair game. And people raise those qualms from the beginning of the election. Look, just because you won an election does not change the narrative. Whether it's about Joseph Boyka's health, whether it's about his decision making, whether it's about who's going to run the country, who's going to be the next McGill. People make all this calculation. That's why some of us will even frown the idea of a Jeremiah Coon, because we told you from day one, Jeremiah Coon is a placeholder for Prince Johnson. Technically, Prince Johnson will be the one running the affairs of the state. That's just what it is, whether you like it or not. Yeah, Joseph Boakai may have people here in a circle around him that will be making some decision, but at the end of the day, from a constitutional standpoint, Prince Johnson will be the one running the country. And what happened? Worst case scenario, you're talking about 6 months, that's half a year. Come on now, it's no small time. So are you telling me that Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Coon will be able to steer the affair of the state in terms of whether it's about making policy come to fruition, whether it's about reconciling the country? No, that's just why it is. So I tell people all the time, and that's how you'll always be any of our leaders in Liberia, because for you, you are not interested in the country making progress. You're interested in yourself winning. So you can do anything and everything just for the sake of winning, rather than pushing for realistic and holistic change. So at the end of the day, we all know it was predicted, it will happen, that Joseph Boakai should come up for a heart procedure. And you know how detrimental it can be, looking at his age, his health condition. You know, people get sick all the time. The reason between the old and the young is the young president can recover quicker and much faster as compared to an older president, and looking at the risk factor. So most likely, you will have Prince Johnson running the show until otherwise order.
Cyrus, your take on this. Who's going to be the next Jacob? Somebody said Jacob Akoli. Who's going to be the next McGill? Because the scenario we're in, let's assume Joseph Boakai decide to be Joseph Boakai, which is, if Joseph Boakai decide to be the ungrateful Joseph Boakai that he has been noted for, not try to sideline Coon somehow. Wherein when the president traveled, the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs takes over. Because the vice president can only come in place when in terms of president being incapacitated or deaf. But the president can appoint anybody, for the most part, in Liberia now, McGill as a
right.
As the president, Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, was the one ahead of being ahead of the government when the president is away. So who you think would be Joseph Boakai Una McGill? My people, you're the one, you're watching and Tony, you can tell us who you think will be the next McGill of Joseph Boakai.
Yes, Mr. Kane, I will tell you, if you ask me what the next McGill of Joseph Boakai, I will give you 2 names. I'll give you Jacob Akoli, one, or I'll give you Robert Kpale Mosio. Those 2 names, one of those 2 could be the next Nathaniel McGill of Joseph Boakai. And you ask another question which I'm not paying attention. Can you go over that?
Yeah, no, I was. The first question was, let's say Boakai remain grateful and not sideline Coon, and then Boakai comes to his, for medical procedure, and that would be pretty much considered incapacitated if you are not healthy enough to perform the duty of the presidency. That would be considered incapacitated. Right. Then definitely Jeremiah Coon becomes acting president. What kind of library you see under Jeremiah Coon president?
Mr. Kane, let's take Jeremiah Coon out of the picture. If Boakai, let's say if Boakai is incapacitated, let's put Prince Johnson in the picture, because Prince Johnson is a de facto vice president. Prince Johnson makes the most popular decision when it comes to he and Jeremiah. In the case of Jeremiah Coon, Prince Johnson believes he made Jeremiah Coon. He has, and it is the reality, Mr. Kane. We cannot change the reality that Prince Johnson controls the senator-elect Jeremiah Coon as the vice president-elect Senator Coon. So automatically, once the president is incapacitated, the vice president has to take over. we'll definitely see a Prince Johnson running Liberia. And under a Prince Johnson running Liberia, freedom of speech will be one of the first target, because they will not want people to speak on ills. That with a level of vindictiveness and arrogance, you continue to see in UP folks, even though they've won, their victory should be celebrated, but they continue to still go after people and continue to they still get mad. They even get mad at people for celebrating with them, only because you criticize them.
Yeah.
Only because the people they get mad for yes, they get mad when you are celebrating with them. They believe that you're not supposed to celebrate with them because you did not support them and you criticize their standard bearer. So under a Prince Johnson administration, you should know there will be no freedom of speech. I don't see a free movement. Under a Prince Johnson running a Liberia, I am telling you, especially with these United Party folks. In fact, that this is the point that I continue to go to reconciliation. Because if we will know that the president will move the country forward, or his vice will move the country, because the vice will definitely look at the president, the good things, the path that you will see the president on, it will be the same path he will train on. Even though he has his will to change, but I guess when he sees the good thing as a path, he will train on the same good path. But how to begin with is by reconciling the country first. With the high level of bitterness in Liberia now, Mr. Kane, the one you see on the internet is just that one small. In Liberia is heavily divided. I am telling you, the country is heavily divided. The country is bitter. Liberians are bitter one another in this country. So to begin with, it's by the president reconciling the country and bringing everybody together and be able to cooperate other people who do not even support you or didn't support you, or even when they are working with you, to be able to tell you the truth. By recruiting the people, then we know that we'll see a better Liberia in the absence of JMB if Jeremiah Kun. But with the Jeremiah Kun running, if in the absence of JMB and Jeremiah Kun, who will be the president will definitely be counting a Prince Johnson as a president. And I don't see a Liberia with a freedom of speech. I don't see a Liberia that will move forward anytime soon. Because Prince Johnson is this one man, he doesn't forget so easily, he doesn't forgive easily. There's a man who continues to remind people when he says something about him, when you disagree with him, even on fundamental issues. So for this reason, I don't see a better Liberia under a de facto Prince Johnson ruling establishment in the absence of JMB. Or when we want to see a better Liberia, even under JMB should first of all start to reconcile Liberia.
So President Monk. Sorry. President Monk and Charles, you can answer it too if you want. So Joseph Boakai government structure, if you begin to see some of those jokers names in key government position, I don't want to call name, because when I call name, people would think that I'm taking it personal, but I'm not going to call anybody. Some of those jokers that everybody know that they're good for nothing. Mm-hmm. They were not good for campaigning or insulting people or bullying people. But if you start to begin to see the name of those people in key government position, what would that signal to you?
It will signal a repeat of our administration for failure. That's just why we repeat. That is signal it was sent out there. You see, I tell people.
Imagine seeing people like Eugene Fagon there taking.
Oh yeah, the Fagon of the world
position.
It's the same thing. It will just tell you what's going to happen. Like I tell you, Sekou, Joseph Boakai government will be far more responsible than we are government in terms of government. But I don't expect nothing much to change, because he have to satisfy or please those people that was on his campaign that helped make this thing possible. And here is why you will get a repeat of what Joel Howard Taylor is experiencing, maybe even worse. The people within Joseph Boakai inner circle cannot trust a Prince Johnson based on Prince Johnson history. Prince Johnson was involved in the killing of 2 former presidents in Africa. People don't know about Samuel Doe, but he was also in Burkina Faso for Thomas Sankara's death. He was part of that mission. Most people don't know that. So, why make it think the J. Kaba call you of the war or the monster party that will want for Prince Johnson or Jeremiah to come anywhere close to Joseph Boakai? Matter of fact, if these people who believe that Henry Kosa of all people that cannot kill a chicken is capable of killing Joseph Boakai, why make you think about the Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Kun factor that this time around they are much closer to Joseph Boakai? So worst case scenario, you will even have a situation that will be far worse than what we are seeing with Joel Howard Taylor in terms of isolation. Jeremiah Kun will be totally isolated because they won't even want to give him the slightest chance of coming anywhere close to what Joseph Boakai. And that's what's going to happen. Remember, it's not just a theory, it's something that both of them said, and it's on the record. Prince Johnson said it's Nima County town. And that's a coded language. That's a coded message to anybody from the Unity Party. It's Nima County town. What do you mean? You only vice, the guy who you suppose is only vice president. Why would you say Nima County town now? Looking at the history of things that you did in the past.
No, but Monk, to even add, not to cut you off, but Prince Johnson made it very clear. He said the old man is old.
Yes.
He added that. He said old man is old, and and then he stopped.
No, but now the Prince Johnson.
He said this is the Nimba County way to the presidency. The path to Nimba presidency. So they are already expecting something to happen to Joseph Boakai, from their own saying.
From their own thing, yeah.
So,
go ahead.
So you think the people close to Joseph Boakai, they will allow any close proximity?
Hell no.
The way in danger is health. I mean,
hell no. No.
Knowing the fact that that's what Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Kone want.
Yeah, that's what they want. If I'm in Joseph Boakai in a circle, Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Kone coming anywhere close. We have already secured this 6 years. The old man is elected based on their history and their state. But you see, that's why during an election or campaign season, you want to pay attention to details. Don't just be caught up in the euphoria. Jeremiah Kone on video in the live studio is on record for saying Joseph Boakai is wearing diaper because of what he insinuated, that he's experiencing a cognitive decline, that under no condition he can support a Boakai presidency. But the only reason he supported Boakai,
he said the member was going to be going down.
Yeah, he bring and that work. Yeah, that the only reason he supports Joseph Boakai is the fact that he was chosen to be his running mate. So why, if I follow the Joseph Boakai inner circle, why would I want a man that anywhere near the old man? It would never happen. I'm not going to allow that. That one is not politics; it's beyond politics. He's not coming anywhere close. Maybe if
that happened, what would be the reaction from Prince Johnson and the Jeremiah Kune group?
Well, then it will be a backlash.
Given the fact that they are the one that make him president.
Well, yeah, that where the backlash will come from, the internal ranking will come from. By the end of the day, the old man finished securing his 6 years. You seeing it? So it doesn't matter if he can get a job done and do what he's supposed to do. Yeah, okay, we don't expect a government to be perfect, but at least you can stage manage that in terms of the way the same thing or Georgia did with Joel Howard Taylor. Okay, yeah, it may not look right, but not too many people like Bro will be interested in the fact that if Joseph Boakai excommunicates Jeremiah Kone, matter of fact, the Constitution says he should be assigned the Senate so that he job there. He should go there every day and show up to work. The old man will be the one running the show and in a circle. So if Joseph Boakai is going to snub Jeremiah Kone or put a distance between them, I don't think it's a bad move either. I mean, it's just a fair game based on their own statement. That's just politics. That's the nature of the sport. Everything can be perfect. Just be firm and logical in your decision because they are risks. They are high risk factor to the old man. So why should he let them anything closer? In as much as they help to secure victory, no, they can come close. I won't allow that if I'm in Joseph Boakai.
So Saros in Liberia, what do you expect? What's some of the good things that you expect Joseph Boakai to do? Let's speak on positive. Because everything we're talking about right now, those are still hypothetical. We know exactly things that were said during the campaign period. And we see some of them, some things that could come to pass. But what are some of the good things that you would like to see happening that will send a signal that Joseph Boakai's presidency will be good?
Right. I will begin with some of the things that I will be expecting from the presidency of Joseph Boakai is number one. I will continue to say it. One, reconcile the country. That will be the first thing. Two, young people empowerment. Like the National Youth Service Program, it should be implemented and be in full swing, where you can educate young people. You can get a lot of young people get ready for the job market. Liberian own business. These are things that we expect. The Liberian own business, because as create a large private sector that your government will not be repeating a Georgia government that the wage was so high, and you do not have money to pay everybody. You want to employ everybody because they help to make you president. but you do not have, the money to pay everybody. But then you just have too many people in government. I would expect a Joseph Boakai government to create a large private sector that can employ Liberians, so many Liberians that can be self-sufficient or earn an honest living. If you creating a large private sector, you definitely know that your government will not be a government that will repeat a Georgia government. You have to employ everybody, because we noticed that in the second round, there are a lot of people who joined Boakai, like you said, Mr. Kane. There are a lot of good people who joined. And I can tell you this for free. With a Prince Johnson believes that he made Boakai president. With the statement that are coming that the vote that Nima Kante gave were even more than the vote that came from Loba Kante, that definitely tells you that Prince Johnson support make Boakai president. And if we were retrogress to past records, if Prince Johnson supported George Weah become president. Prince Johnson supported Manasari 2005 in the run-up. She become president. 2011, she become president. In George Weah, he become president, and he didn't support George Weah. So now he believes that when it comes to political numerical strength, he believes that he has that. He has that ability. So
Prince Johnson is a kingmaker in Liberia. That's a fact.
Yes, a kingmaker. Yes, that's a fact. He is a kingmaker. So if we're looking at these statistics, and he has made Boakai president, he believes that he got 50% right in Boakai government. And I would tell you that for the fact that it is on record that Prince Johnson tells you that it is Nimatan, they will definitely want a lot of Nimatan to be employed. This is one of the reasons he and George Weah started falling apart, employing his people and taking development to his county. He believes that since he made George Weah president, he had, let's say, 40 to 45% sharing with our government, which the inner cycle of George Weah could not even allow. So he has that same right in Boakai government. So if you ask me, I want to see these things. That when you create a large private sector, you don't have to use government to employ all your people. Like health, the health sector, the educational sector, these things should be revamped. You Boakai, you want to serve as agriculture minister. The thing that you did not do when you are agriculture minister, this is the time to rewrite those things that you didn't do.
Yeah,
create a large, invest into the agriculture sector, that it can be, it can be one of the greatest army of, bringing money to the economy. So these are things that I would want to tell the president-elect Joseph Boakai, or I will expect from his government when he comes to power.
So President Monk,
Yeah.
in terms of appointments, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know everybody within Joseph Boakai's inner circle. Do you think Brownie Samuka will resurface as somewhere as in just her any ministerial or managerial position after being convicted as criminal?
Well, I don't know. It all depends who you're going to ask in that case. Matter of fact, the case that was brought against Samuka, it got some holes in it. People thought it was more of a political move than seeking justice. I just hope I don't like moral equivalency, but maybe Joseph Boakai will get CDC a taste of their own medicine, because you could make the case for obituary and Nathaniel McGill. The only difference is the government drag of feet in bringing those charges against their people because they wanted to play politics. If you want to make the case about professionalism, Samuka is a trained man with experience. So if it was a political move, I won't hesitate bringing him back. I mean, he put in the work, he supported the old man, so I would expect something like that. You see, there are no constitutional requirements to who you bring in your administration as the chief executive. It left with you, that's your own discretion. You can choose to bring people, you can choose to incorporate the opposition, but there are no laws that say you got to bring so amount of opposition. No, it left with the president to make that choice. What I will be expecting from this old man is for him to set some ground rules. You cannot go for over-ambitious project because you know CDC going to enter government cover. You will be having some economic challenges, but he can put few things into place that will get the Liberian people to believe that, you know what, an elderly statesman is the one controlling the show. He's running the show, whether it's about the drugs issue, whether it's about this. You see, and one thing that the guy said, one of his comments, he's right. Accountability is also part of the reconciliation process. Joseph Boakai should set an example, because these people were reckless. They abused the constitution, they abused the Liberian people in a way unimaginable. You want to set an example, and we were all supporting you on that, because that's a form of accountability. You know, you don't just take government resources, abuse people, and just walk away scot-free in the name of reconciliation. No, accountability is also part of reconciliation. So it left with him. And the Amaracone scenario, it tells me a lot about professionalism. You don't just want to put people on board because from your party. Bring people that know what they are doing, that got experience, that will help you to be successful. You just saw what happened with Amaracone, looking at round 1 and round number 2. Those are some of the harvest you gather from professionalism. When you bring people who know exactly what they are doing, they help prepare you to be successful. And I will expect that from the old man as well. Stop the drugs coming to the country, the extrajudicial killing, the ritualistic killing. If you can mitigate it, trust me, the Liberian people will think that you're on the right path. That's what I believe. So these are the few things I will be looking at. I could care less about whether he bring opposition on board, whether he keeps the issue in government. No, there is no requirement for that. It's up to him. But there are certain things that we expect as an elder statesman and as a president of the country to do, and we'll be expecting that from him. You muted, Segu.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So you think in order to keep Prince Johnson away from power, Joseph Boakai being Joseph Boakai, who cares less about loyalty? Who cares less about loyalty? Who will do anything just to get what he wants? Do you think Joseph Boakai could suddenly accept to bring in War and Economic Crimes Court and say, I'm not the one, this is the way of the Liberian people, and just to get rid of Prince Johnson? You think Joseph Boakai will say, well, because Joseph Boakai said he will be committed to the War and Economic Crimes Court. Don't forget that, before Prince Johnson got on board. So we're going to hold Joseph Boakai accountable for his statement. You think Joseph Boakai will say, well, someday, you know what? Let's have War and Economic Crimes Court. Let's have War and Economic Crimes Court for the sake of Liberia, and I promise the Liberian people, and I can do this. Not only doing it because he believes in war and economic crimes, he wants to bring justice, but just to use the War and Economic Crimes Court as a tool to get rid of Prince Johnson, to eradicate the risk of Prince Johnson be overshadowing the government, and for a potential risk to Joseph Boakai's life simply because Prince Johnson wanted him to take the presidency. You think Joseph Boakai will consider that down the line sometime? This is the possibility. Mongo.
Politics is a transactional sport. There are no permanent friends or permanent enemy. It's a transactional game. That's where we will be able to test the character of Joseph Boakai again based on what he fundamentally believes in and thinks he's capable of executing as the chief executive. He could make that move. It's not about loyalty. If Joseph Boakai believed that he owes it to his supporter and the country at large to set precedent and example, to leave a legacy, looking at his age and the fact that he's the president now, it's not impossible. In that situation, that prospect could be on the table. But I believe, I don't want to believe he will go for it, except he can prove me wrong. I don't think so.
Because what if the message Prince Johnson as a risk? Why wouldn't he do it?
Yeah, he could see Prince Johnson as a risk in terms of his own safety, but there are ways he could deal with Prince Johnson without being that vindictive. He could still draw a wedge between the two in terms of governance. Even though Prince Johnson,
how will you call bringing justice being vindictive? It may decide to accept.
No, when I'm talking about drawing a wedge between him and Prince Johnson and the Jeremiah Cone, I'm talking about in terms of governance. Because the president that can assign responsibility to the vice president. The president is able to make a vice president active or inactive. So he could make that case. But in terms of war crime code, that could also be the case. That Prince Johnson, in as much as you got me here, I think I owe a bigger responsibility to Liberian people than just always kowtowing to you. So he could still be in a collaboration with the Prince Johnson Jeremiah Cone of the war, but could also choose to bring a war crime code because he believed that what most of his supporters believe, and they want to see some kind of an example. So it won't be beyond the realm of possibility that he could still be on the Prince Johnson side and bring a war crimes code. It's not impossible. But for me, until he can prove me wrong, I think it's unlikely. I don't think he will want to make that 360-degree turn, especially this early with a lot of challenges. He will kick the can down the road a little bit. You muted, Sekou.
Sorry, you want to add? You're muted
Yeah.
too. Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Kane. Yeah. Like President Mon said, he said it all. Mr. Kane, it is not something that is impossible to do, but I see it very difficult for Joseph Boakai to do that, the former vice president, doing that. I don't see him doing that, especially just coming to, like coming to power the first year. And maybe he would do it maybe when his government, maybe like 2025, 2026, he could do it anytime in his government. But I would tell you now, I don't see him doing that. And it's also possible that the former vice president can do such a thing, because we can hold a former vice president to his words. These are some of his part with speculation between him and Ansari that he didn't get her blessing, that bringing the World Economic Crime Code, that he was so particular prosecuting Ellen that he wanted to, put himself, make himself look much good, that during the 12 years, he was not part of all of what went on, in terms of negativity. He was not part of corruption and all of that. So he committed himself to prosecuting Ellen. So it is not possible, and we can hold him up to that as well. Because why is it that you wanted to be president and prosecute Ellen, but now you are now president, you have all the power to prosecute a warlord right in your regime, or a man who supported you, who helped to make you president. But then why you can't prosecute him now? So it's also possible, but he can do that. When he can do that, he will close his eye. The old man can be very donkey at times. He can do that when he sees that Prince Johnson is a threat to his presidency. That one thing I can tell you for fact. That once he sees that Prince Johnson is an obstacle to his presidency, to his leadership, he will definitely do that with no fear and favor.
So before we go to the line, Monk and both of you can answer this question. Do you think Joseph Nima Boakai government will audit and prosecute corrupt officials of their government, including WIA?
I would want to believe that that has a much higher probability as compared to the War Crimes Code. Sekou, you see, sometimes you come with a laundry list of issues you want to attack as a leader, but the reality, sometimes it can change the list that you came with to leadership. You want to prioritize things that top priority to the people. I tell folks the economic imperative on the ground, that will be a major challenge Joseph Boakai is going to inherit, because I know these guys, they were all operating on fake numbers. They were lying, talk about poverty and people not seeing any progress in the economy. People talk about the drugs. The drugs thing was a major thing in Georgia administration, the importing of drugs. It was just unprecedented. We've been having drugs in Liberia for as long as I've been knowing myself, but we have never seen this kind of on this kind of a scale. The next thing we want to look at is this whole sense of security, extrajudicial killing, all they start dying here, the sons of former president dying here, EPS officer, no. People want to stop to that. People want to mitigate those things. So I believe Joseph Boakai will have other things to look at, like in terms of going after WIAGO, because it's one of the reasons people voted for Joseph Boakai. They want to see someone going after WIAGO government in a way never seen before in recent memory, because they believe CDC was too reckless, the president was irresponsible, he abused their resources, he abused the constitution. So they want for Joseph Boakai to set an example. It's one of the reasons why he's elected. So it's more than likely that Joseph Boakai will prosecute people and bring them to justice rather than a War Crimes Code at this stage. That's why I think, from an economic standpoint.
So okay, let me ask this question hypothetically. Assuming that Joseph Boakai appoints Justice Kabina Jane, somehow follow ECOWAS to see, what?
Yeah.
ECOWAS asks Liberia to reinstate this man and give him all his right. If Joseph Boakai decided to do that, to put him back on the bench, or say, let me reappoint this man to make him just a minister. Any prosecution or auditing under that atmosphere would that be considered as somebody being vindictive or a reprisal of what happened and auditing and prosecuting George Weah and his government under a Justice Minister Janet? Will people see that as rule of law?
I would see that as a form of justice.
As a form of justice, or
Yes.
somebody, kind of taking, or reprisal?
No, I would see that as a form of justice. I don't know how other people define justice, because the case against Kabina Janet and mostly Samuka, they were more political. You saying it? It was more political, and even the ECOWAS code vindicated a former Associate Justice Janet. So giving him a ministerial position, I think it will be a form of justice. And let me tell you this: if the Joseph Boakai administration will apply the same logic to Bill Twari and Nathaniel McGill, it will also be a form of justice, because they were, even though we never brought a case against them to criminally indict them, but we know the American government based on their history and how they operate. They will not put sanctions on those guys with clean hands. No, it means they committed a crime. So if you're going to give them a taste of their own medicine, then I think Joseph Boakai will be right. And Georgia people were wrong, because they did it outside the law. It was not something about seeking justice. It was about political reprisal. That's just why it is. With this case of Kabina Janet and Brandon Samuka. So if Joseph Boakai was to bring those two into the government, I would see it as a form of justice.
Now when they bring it into the government, but if people are going to be audited, definitely people will be prosecuted if there is any probable cause to do so.
Yeah.
And under a Justice Minister Janet, I'm just saying hypothetically, how people are going to react? People are going to say, oh, this is the witch hunt, it's a reprisal, the trying to pay by, being vindictive. Or people look at it from the liberal perspective, how people. Or people look at it, no, this is actually a form of judgment. This is a reawakening the justice system, and justice must be served.
Sekou, there's always a price to pay in politics. And in politics, you always don't want to be right. You want to go where majority of the people are leaning. If the Liberian people believe that will be a form of justice, it is a form of justice. You don't expect every decision in being politics to be right. You will ruffle a few fellows here and there. It's about what price you are willing to pay in exchange for what you're ready to get. So with the case of Kabina Janet, there will be people who will have mixed reaction and mixed feeling, but overall, it will be the right thing to do, even if he were to be given a position of Boakai administration. Because, like I said, apart from our code and our politics, the code and ECOWAS vindicated, Justice Janet. So I don't think reintegrating into the government will be something bad. It will also be a form of justice, from my personal standpoint.
So before I go to Saros, will you, for example, personally, if you were Joseph Boakai, would you like to see Justice Janet going back to the Supreme Court, or you will use him, since he knows the law, he understands the law, and he is an experienced person, will you use him as Justice Minister, Attorney General, or you will like to see him going back to the Supreme Court?
Whether it's Solicitor General or Justice Minister, I would prefer that than rather going back to the Supreme Court, For the fact that he was impeached, even if you're impeached for political reason, that attachment, that impeachment, I don't think you want to take him back to the court, but you could put him in a cabinet position, an appointed position. It will be a fair thing to do.
So basically, a Justice Minister position or Solicitor General?
Solicitor General, yeah. Anything relating to the law, he could be better in that position instead of going back to the Supreme Court.
Saros, what do you think?
Yes, Mr. Kane, I would think it would be a fair game on his part. He has been vindicated, and it was a political witch hunt on him during the CDC administration. So I think it would be a fair game and bringing him back to the government, either the Justice Ministry or Solicitor General. If he decides to go back to the Supreme Court, well, that is in his own purview, but bringing him to out of the Justice Ministry or making a Solicitor General, because he understands the law. He understands the law very well. And if you were ask me in regards to maybe Kabina Janet being maybe the head of tax folks or a justice minister that would be the one to audit, the previous government official, I don't think that is a witch hunt. Only if he does that with substantial evidence, because in order to find rule, you got to start investigating the entity. If you investigate an entity like Mr. Cummings said during a campaign, I'm not going to witch hunt individual. I will go for entity. Once the entity is investigated and you are fall within our dim light, you definitely bear the full penalty of the law, because why? You fall within our category. So with substantial evidence and bringing the people to book, I think that is accountability and will be much more preferable and will be beneficiary to the country. And it shows that yes, it is a new day for our justice system. And yes, so I would definitely support that.
So as polarized as our security sectors are now, would you like to see Liberian police somehow revamped or somehow, I mean, I don't know. I mean, will you
For sure, they need some serious training, some
yeah,
retraining.
Yes.
would you like to see, or make
Yes.
of
Yeah.
of the national
Mr.
police?
Mr. Kane, if you ask me that question, I personally will even I'll tell you the whole police force need reshuffling, because one, bulk of the police are not professional. They don't know the ethic of what they stand for, the flag that they bearing, they carrying. So that I would tell you that yes, the entire police need, because Mr. Kane, if you come to you are getting like bro recently, if you see some of the police officer, you will definitely feel bad. You not even want to take them to be a police officer. So I would tell you that the entire police force need to be revamped, or reshuffled. Yes, they need more training. And some of these people who are in the police, who just get there as a means of survival, not even supposed to be there, they need to be out of the police, and let people who want to serve the country, with passion, with dedication. These are the people that you should be qualified to even be in the police. You cannot be a policeman. You cannot even spell a good first name. So yes, I will tell you that the entire police need reshuffling. They need training, and the police need more when it comes to logistical strength. You need to strengthen it. Yes.
For me, I think we spend a lot on the police and the military over the years. I think it comes from the top, and the people who are the people who sort of be setting the example. I don't want to believe that they are now well trained, because the Madam Salif administration spent a lot on the police and the military in terms of training. Maybe you talk about logistical support, and you want to change the hair. We talk about the same idea about professionalism. The people at the top are the one that these guys are looking up to. If you got really professional people at the top, trust me, they will take that directive from their leaders. But when you come and bring like the Patriot Sulu of the war and all these partisan guys, more likely the people that subordinate is going to behave or act in a way that they see their leaders acting. So I would say yes, maybe a little bit of reshuffle here and there. I won't say they are not properly trained. They are properly trained. The government invested a lot of money into these guys. So it starts from the top. If you can bring responsible leadership to the police force, maybe expand the force a little bit, give them few logistics, that would be okay. And get some internal reshuffle and things will change. Because anytime in an organization or institution, people always look at those at the top. They are the one that set the rules. They are the one that set the benchmark. So if you bring professional people at the top, trust me, those police officers will start behaving much better than what you are witnessing at the moment. That's why I think. But when you say they are not, I don't think they are not trained. They are trained, but things just went the opposite from their heads, from the leaders, and they are capable of changing as well. Maybe reshuffle would be the actual word to use. But the previous government invested a lot in the police officer. That's why you see the guys like the Gregory Coleman or the former 102 that were interviewed a few days ago. Yeah, these guys, they always got this high positive review from the people in Liberia because they behave professionally. And under their reign, the police were much better, they were more organized. So you can expect the same. Once you bring someone that is competent and professional at the top, trust me, the people at the bottom, they will take their marching orders.
So what becomes other people who supported Joseph Jumabok, right? Or the loudmouth, but with no experience or any form of leadership. And what do you think will be their portion? They will just be there as supporters, or just back we appoint them just as we are date with, with
Alvin Wizard and the Jefferson Koji and the Josephine Davis of the war, right?
Yeah, we got to want them to. We know we don't want to call their name because I don't want them to be offended.
Let Cyrus go. He the one like real kids.
But they're not in Labrador. They all over the place.
Oh yeah, they too.
and they expect this to be their government. So,
Yeah.
what will be their position? Sarah.
What? Cyrus, go.
Mr. Karen, for me, I would call him like the like of George Lobo them, who are in very high expectation. No, but Mr. Karen, we gotta be real. This show is a truth telling show.
No, but if you talk about John Lobo could be the Sekou Carrasco of Joseph Boakai. That's not bad for him. Don't come up picking me here, man. Yeah, if John Lobo got then a beating. If you know that song.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, Mr. Karen, but with the like of George Lobo them, who are very, they have a very high expectation of, maybe becoming a finance minister because they have some kind of certificate.
I don't know about that one. I don't know what the finance minister, but I know he's qualified to serve some position. But I was maybe referring to George Lobo though. But maybe you can call George Lobo, but there are other people in the like brother there, even someone here that burn a lot of bridges, saying that
For me, right, Mr. Kane, if the president-elect Joseph Boakai,
saying that start calling, so you think my picking Matthew Kwali can be information minister too?
He loved writing a lot, so he could be the next
to defend the government.
Mr. Kane, he's making a sure that for sure that stop calling him. Okay, I'll not call him.
You know what I'm saying? Which is that we start calling him. Okay. What about Union Paco?
Eugene Paco, maybe it may go back to Minister of Information and Deputy, Minister of Information.
So, Stella Witherspoon can be the advisor to the president?
Yeah, he could be the advisor to the president. Who knows? After he served a J10 in the 3 years in America, and when he come back,
maybe the president can use some diplomatic connection and
connection. Yes, that's true. That was definitely
advisor to the president. Maybe Obe will be the defense minister. The lying guy. The lying guy with I would say he invented the gay thing. He was angry your way because they never making it defense minister.
Yeah, they didn't make him defense minister. Yeah, he could serve as defense minister.
He'll be defense minister this time around.
But Mr. Kane, all of those names, there is this thing about United Party. They have an inner cycle, and I can tell you this for free. There are people who you might expect to have certain positions within the United Party when I come around, especially with the guys who have this small cycle in the United Party, who believe that the United Party belongs to them and they struggle with their own struggle.
Let me tell you something, yeah? Yesterday, I sat down by myself. I laughed so hard. I could picture the movie that is about to play. Especially when it comes to Joseph Boakai's appointment, people that are going to serve, because government is too big.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the people, when they don't get where they really want, their reaction. And I can also, as essentially, we are bringing some humor in the whole thing now, just to laugh a little bit. When I sat there yesterday, I picture Henry Costa being the hero of the CCC again. CDC now cost Costa for 6 years. Costa going to be the hero for that again to launch on Joseph Boakai. So I'm looking at those scenarios, and I'm looking at Liberians that are really running with Spoon right now. By the time the government start to make 1 or 2 mistakes, and Spoon Network and people that they try to defend it, the same way CDC, supported network were not relevant. They were not relevant to the Liberian people. You know, even people that, even the CDC, they never value. Liberian people, they gravitate more towards negative than positive. If CDC, I mean, if Stanton, Witherspoon, and United Party are going to be promoting the ideology, you know, of the government, Liberian people don't like that. They don't like positive. they like negative. So I sat down yesterday, I was thinking about all of those things, the way our people react. They gravitate more towards bad news. They love bad news. And in less than 3 months to 6 months, the same people that supported Joe Baka right now, they will start insulting Joseph Boakai. And they will start pointing fingers. But one of the questions I wanted to ask all of you, the same way former Unity Party officials, civil servants, used working in We Are Government were exposing all the things in We Are Government, leaking information to to other people. Do you think Joseph Boakai government will suffer the same thing? leaking information, because everybody's not going to be happy.
Oh, for sure. That one is most likely to happen. It gets part of the process. The government is a complicated bureaucracy with a bunch of branches. So even the Great America, with all the check and balances, you still have leaks, whether it's from the warehouse, whether it's from the national security or whatsoever, there will always be leaks. So you got to expect that to happen. My thing is, you see, one of the things, some of our questions that we had presidency was about expectation. Joseph Boakai coming after George Weah is a higher risk because the expectations are high. You see, Madam Sally, if you look at all the roads put together, Madam Sally built more roads than George Weah. In terms of the numbers, in terms of miles or square kilometer, if you want to say it like that. But George Weah gave it a road, but the name Bar Road Medicine, because the expectation for George Weah is very, very low. So if you are coming after George Weah, the expectation for you, especially for Joseph Boakai that been in government for more than 4 decades, the expectations are very, very high. So it means the room for error is very slim. You see, you can give people a job all you want, but in some sensitive position where you're counting on those people to make your government a success, Mr. Oman, Mr. President-elect, please bring some of the best people that you have. Bring the best. The other people, you can find jobs for them. That will always be the case. You can look for other positions for them, but in strategic positions, especially when it comes to economic aspect of the government, whether it's the finance ministry, whether it's the central bank, whether it's commerce, you want the best and the brightest people on your team with not only academic credential, but experience as well. Because these days, I know a bunch of idiots that got a master's degree, but when it comes to the reality, no work experience, they don't know a damn thing, but they are there. So if you want your government to succeed, because the expectation is high, people expect you to write every wrong thing that George Weah did. And for your experience in government, they will be looking up to you to deliver in a relative short period of time. So trust me, the onus is on you to give people that know exactly what they are doing the best position in the government, the most strategic position in government. Because like I said, the Amara situation was a case in point. Amara is a true professional. He proved to be that. And we saw what happened in round number 2 as compared to the blue plastic bag moment. You want people that you can count on that have the requisite expertise in the background to get the job done. So there is no room for error for Joseph Boakai because the expectation for him are very high. And for the Costa situation, you know Henry Costa, he will find a way to resurrect. He will take over. When it comes to propaganda, I can tell him about the love the man or hate him. He's a master of that. He knows how to push buttons. The moment things start going wrong in Liberia under Joseph Boakai and Costa start raising red flag, trust me, it will be a different ball game from a psychological and a political standpoint. That's just why it is. So Joseph Boakai should watch out. There is no room for error for him. He must make better decisions, and he should bring people that are competent, not only with academic credential, but with the working experience to get the job done for him. Because I gave him up, within 6 to 9 months, trust me, when the reality sinks in, people will start raising red flag, and I don't want him going down the path of a George Weah. We want something better.
Yeah, so now, who's going to be the next opposition? CPP or CDC? And if so, who's going to lead the opposition? Who's going to be the opposition leader now moving forward? Yo. CDC or CPP?
Yeah, maybe I can come in. Maybe I can come in.
We're still going to have a CPP anyway, by the way.
Mr. Kane, in regards to the CPP, I guess there was a MOU that brought them together, especially when when CPP fell apart, where two parties had to leave. The two parties that left there, I guess it was an agreement. And that agreement, I don't know, the expiration date, but I know that after this election, there are certain agreements that are not going to be working. So until they can renew that MOU. But Mr. Kane, CDC is now, as the CDC now is the devil. Politically, CDC now is the devil because they've cost the Liberian people so much in 6 years. But there is this thing I will tell you: the CDC is very good at taking onto situation to paint themselves white. CDC is very robust, and let's look at a CDC of 12 years that they don't have money, but they were very robust. They stick to what they stick to until they took power. And now looking at a CDC that are just leaving power, that got money, that is financially strong. So if we will be looking at the CPP, originally the CPP should be the one, the major opposition here to the United Party, regarding if the CPP can put into mechanism, bringing a very vibrant youth wing that will be able to speak to every issues, bringing on board credible people that will not be bought so easily by petty cash. And if the CPP starts to do what is right, you can't just be an opposition, a talking opposition, but not just talking, but doing things like, that are visible to make the people, to make the Liberian people to know that you are the next government in waiting. And, for 2029, you are ready for 2029. But I can tell you, our society is this gullible. Our society is not conscious. So if the CPP sits reluctantly, I will tell you that the CDC will be the most vibrant opposition because the CDC is good at taking onto situations in Liberia.
Don't you think the CDC people will be worried first how to protect themselves and protect their wealth, to protect, some of the corrupt deal, the dates, and protect themselves from being prosecuted? We should worry about that and they'll play safe as opposed to going hard on the government because the risk of being prosecuted and for what happened in the past 6 years. Don't you think they will be conscious of that while going into this?
They'll be very They'll be conscious of that, Mr. Kane. I will tell you, the CDC, they are afraid. Not that they will be, but they are afraid because the way they know that the United Party folks will come for them, they will definitely come for them. The thing is, the CDC is good when it comes to taking on to situations. The CDC is good when it comes to speaking on issues. The CDC is very swift. The CDC is very robust. They will be afraid, but I will tell you, you cannot take that away from the CDC. There will still be an active opposition, Mr. Kane. That will tell you if the CPP do not put their heart together, if the CPP don't do the right thing, the CDC will definitely be the major opposition. Taking into consideration that our society is now a conscious society, the society is a gullible society because the people are not conscious. Right now, the moment United Party comes in and United Party starts to make mistakes, and the CDC starts to speak on these mistakes, instead of the CPP doing it, the CDC will be the hero of the Liberian people. I can tell you.
President Monk.
I'm here.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So who's going to be the next major opposition?
Well, for me, I look at it from a different perspective. In Liberia, our political parties or whatsoever, the institution, they are not mostly strong when it comes to an institutional level. It's all about individual. Whenever an individual leaves, like even if the party remains, they are not as strong as they used to be. I tell people the only reason Joseph Boakai was considered for the second term that a former ruling party is now back in power because of George Weah's own actions over 6 years. If George Weah had just given the Liberian people the bare minimum, he would have been re-elected. I don't think the Liberian people were inclined to bring a Unity Party back because we got George Weah as a result of Unity Party. But George Weah was so reckless and so irresponsible that, it's one of the things I learned from this election. The one thing I learned from this election is the Liberian people will create that condition to give other political leader a chance to look at them. But Georgia was so toxic to the extent that they decided that, you know what, at that moment in time, we won't consider another year because Joseph Boakai is perfectly situated or he's in the position to remove Georgia. Removing Georgia is the first responsibility that we, the Liberian people, should engage in. And that's how Joseph Boakai became the beneficiary of that particular mindset, that we should get Georgia out by any means possible. If we even consider whether it's Clarence Moluba, whether it's Tiawan Gonglo, whether it's coming, the very first order of operation is to remove Georgia. And that's exactly what they did. So if you are a sedition and you want to remain vibrant, you want to rebrand that party, and I think it will be a smart thing for the CPP to do. That is based on what the political leader is anticipating in the future. You could leverage CDC because sedition, they were in power for 6 years. Yeah, you can get mad all you want, but you never got 12 years because the way how your political leader behaved when he became president. He threw, I mean, he got rid of the ball. He dropped the ball. So the idea that you are just going to come back, I don't see that happening either because you were given an opportunity too. I think Unity Party had 12 years, but they gave you 6 years. You could have gone 12 years, but you were so reckless and irresponsible. And there's what you get. So the best way for CDC to revamp herself is to channel through another responsible political leadership that will come and rebrand the party, and they can leverage CDC support. Because the one thing CDC has is they are a younger party, and every year you keep getting more 18 years coming into the fray. They are a younger population. So for the CPP, if the political leader can put his act together, he could use the CDC as a vehicle to expand his base and get ready for 6 years from now. And it must start now. You cannot wait until election time again to start making moves. There's when you start making moves, because you know 6 years might seem too long, but we all know how many people can anticipate that Georgia will be packing his bag today. 6 years seem like eternity, but in reality, it's very, very short.
Speaking of George Weah, SKTV is reporting that George Weah said in the church today that had I agreed to do what others wanted me, we will not be here today. A George Weah concession and this statement are meant to seek mercy so that Joseph Boakai, the Unity Party, will have mercy on him, not to prosecute him or even audit him. You think this is a quest for mercy?
It could be. I would want to interpret that message just as it is. Let me tell you, Sekou, one of the reasons when we're looking at all the numbers coming and making our analysis, we're just doing it based on data and history.
Mm-hmm.
In Africa, when the numbers are tight, it favors the incumbent party because elections are always a referendum on the ruling party. When an opposition is expected to win, they got to win big to overset the margin or to run the table. But we saw it 1%, 1.2%, 1.7%. So anyone looking at the numbers and looking at the probability, because even so, the opposition, I mean, the ruling party also have some leverage. They got government resources. They got unlimited amount of money. They can make calls to traditional chiefs and elders. So when you are keeping the race much tighter, it will always favor the ruling party. So people had the expectation that most likely it was going to break into Georgia direction as compared to Unity Party. And the second thing we keep telling folks, CDC believe in 2005 and 2011. That's why they choose not to even participate in the second round in 2011, because they felt they were robbed of state power before. So more people say, but then if Unity Party is on the record for depriving CDC of state leadership position, then CDC will have to return the favor. So most likely Georgia will end up winning at the end of the day because the fact that the numbers are very, very close, but it didn't happen. So if Weah could make such a statement, who knows what happened behind the scene? Maybe he asking for help and telling Joseph Boakai, say, you know what I just did, it has never happened on the continent before in recent memory. So you might as well give me a pass, because I could pull up a resistance, and the international community could bear us witness that when it happened in 2005 and 2011, they were the one that told us to step back in the name of peace. So I could do this in the name of peace and get a free war. That's how we interpret it.
So, Saros in Liberia, do you think that if George Weah is saying this, he said, had I done what others wanted me to, would not have been me here. Is he throwing his people under the bus? Or he feels like now it's over, everybody for yourself, go for all?
Mr. Kane, I don't think George Weah is throwing his people under the box. I think he's just saying what the reality is. If being the president, he's in control of the economy, he's in control of everything. Power, he controls the military, the police, the joint security, the NSA, all of that. Especially, we all know how Africa is. The president controls literally everything. He's not throwing them under the bus, Mr. Kane. There are a lot of speculations that were around. Especially even on election day, we had talks of the CDC passing around, harassing the United Party, even though we cannot defend the United Party because we know there are people as well. But we have talks of the CDC. And SKTV can bear witness, and it's still on SKTV page. I went to some places there were serious tension between citizens and United Party folks. So I don't think George Weah, I think CDC believe that it was based on that. We are all of the time SKTV on SKTV here. We used to say it's not easy. I don't think that CDC rigged election to get rid of the United Party. It was a clear reality. At this point, all of what is going on in the CDC is because George Weah came up to congratulate Joseph Boyka when the result has not been announced. Citizens believe that they were robbed in 2005. They believe they were robbed 2011. So they believe they should have done the same thing with the United Party. They believe that this 12 years thing, and this is the reason they were very optimistic. So he's not throwing them under the bus. These are things that are happening even inside. On Saturday, in the president's speech, he was to be at the headquarters on Saturday, but the president could not go at the headquarters on Saturdays because citizens are unhappy with the president's decision. In their chat room, they are playing games. I mean, one of their chat rooms, I'll try to forward some of the recording to you, Mr. Kane. So you're listening to citizens throwing, the blame, blaming one another. So it is not something, and he's not trying to buy sympathy. Well, if Joseph Boyka sees that as a sympathy or to forgive the president, well, that is up to Joseph Boyka as the president. But I think the right thing to do for Boyka, my recommendation to the former vice president who is now elected as president, he need to, audit the past government, audit George Weah. I don't think you need to see that as a sympathy, but I can tell you he's not throwing his people under the bus. These are reality. These are things that are happening in their camp. So, I mean, it was just something that they believed were entitled to, and they believed it was their right.
All right. Monk, a CDC without George Weah, especially when they are ending it on a bad note, could this be the beginning of disintegration of the CDC? CDC without George Weah, where's the CDC?
Yeah, that's it. Sekou, every time a political party comes to power, they fail over time. The only reason Unity Party came back to life was because the CPP won and because of George Weah's performance. I tell you all the time, whether it was the NPP, whether it was the NDP, whether it was the True Win Party, no. In Liberia, we don't repeat former ruling party. You subtract George Weah from CDC, there will be a shadow of themselves. Yet the organization or the institution will still exist. It won't be as vibrant as with George Weah. That's just the reality. It has always proven to be the case. Like I said, two things happened with Unity Party. Unity Party was very lucky. When everybody thought that Unity Party was dead, gone, and buried, we came up with something called the CPP. That was a brilliant idea that integrated everybody. It gave life to Unity Party. They came back and they rolled on our wave. Had it not been the CPP, I don't think maybe Boyka wouldn't have even contested in this going election. Yeah, but the CPP brought back life. It was the CPP that resuscitated Unity Party. And for Joseph Boyka, the second thing that happened for him, George Weah performances. George Weah, only citizen in that country, they believed that he was doing better. So the outcome of the election, it was the only thing that both Cummins and Joseph Boyka unanimously agree on, that anybody going against George Weah would beat him, because they could tell from the reaction on the ground how people were mad with George Weah for being reckless, for being irresponsible. So if you take George Weah off the picture, citizen, he can kiss it goodbye. It will just be the matter of time for you to feel completely, but you will never be the same without a George Weah. I don't see a single
So that brings us to what you said earlier.
Yes.
That means the strength of any political party or political grouping will depend on who is the
who inherits CDC to get a base to start up with.
Yeah, not only CDC, but a better person that can really be the face of the opposition.
Yes.
And that would that require some level of radicalism, being somehow, strong, radical, and not afraid of anything, and somehow be reckless, because Liberia, they respect people who are reckless in the way of the talk. They respect, especially when it comes to people who are running for office. They respect people who are reckless. They respect people who talk trash. They respect people who are not afraid to say things, who don't care about respect. In Liberia, they say, I just have to say, man, but I'm not respect for you the way you talk. But other majority of them gravitate towards people who are rude and disrespectful, and who have no value, who have no moral. So that means the leadership of the opposition now is up for grab, depending who actually step forward and how you step forward. So with that, who you think right now among the opposition could potentially take advantage of the political vacuum when it comes to leading the opposition? Who you saying right now can really take advantage of that?
Only the CPP can make that move, from what I see. The Liberian people, they get seniority politics. They give people time. Sometimes they're not about what you bring to the table. It's not about your experience. It's not about how you can have the country. They just believe in this seniority, the whole idea that we should go systematically from this person to that person. And they got some myth in our country that certain individual can run for president. I said, no, the people don't vote like that. If you try that move, you will be a loser. Somebody say, oh, we're looking at Eden Snow. I said, come on, Eden Snow couldn't even deliver Bombing County, one of the smallest counties in Liberia, was Georgia. And you think he's going to be positioned to run for president? Some people say, oh, Sir Joseph. I say, look, Sir Joseph, in as much as he's the senator for Monserrado County on the national level, he's not going to win a general election. It's the same case with Jeremiah Kun. Yeah, Joseph Boga leveraged Jeremiah Kun in terms of his county size, and the fact that Nema County is the second largest county on the electoral map. But how many Liberians that you think would be inclined that they say when an election comes, they will go stand on land to vote for Jeremiah Kun to be the next president for Liberia? That will not happen. So from my own analysis, the two vibrant opposition, CDC, but Georgia is not coming back, and Georgia will never come back. You can take that to the bank. It will not happen. So if you are in the CDC camp, you want to look for better leadership. You want to bring people who will rebrand our party, because you are a best. You are a force to be reckoned with. The only difference is over time, you will be fading away. You will be half of what you used to be, because Georgia was not only a politician, he's a cultural icon. He's a national hero. So who do you think in our party got anything closer to a Georgia to tell you, say they will take away your party to give you state power again? That's not going to happen. The most you can do, collaborate and align yourself with some responsible political leader and political party, and then you can vent your anger and frustration through that political leader to get back into power. And it has been a consensus. Even people that supported Joseph Boakai, if you ask them, or sedition. For CDC, it was unanimous. For Unity Party, I would say maybe 7 out of every 10 or 6 out of 10. If you ask them, if Joseph Boakai is not in the race, who do you most likely to support? On both sides of the aisle, it will be an Alexander Cummings.
They also Cummings.
That's it. So he can only be the one that can make this strategic move to be, because I know.
So Cummings should start now. Cummings should start now, not even tomorrow. Right?
Yes.
Cummings should start now, being the last man standing, because Jowiah is not coming back. He's going to come back. No, Jowiah is not coming back. Jowiah, you were in power. You could not win.
Yeah.
Everything at your disposal.
He didn't win. What make you think he will come back?
And everything Jowiah had was his popularity. And that popularity, like you said yesterday, is a perishable commodity that can vanish in a split second or can be reduced. So that Jowiah does not have that popularity anymore that he used to have. Now, because of that, he lost the election. But they have no political calculation, no political mechanism put in place to win. George Weah losing the election was a shock
Yes.
to the world, not just us. I have some friends who are Guinean that were telling me, oh, my man, you're wasting your time, man. There are people there, no president in Africa can be in power. You know, they will just something. But you know what happened? Joe, we are going to be re-elected. That's all they're going to say. But when we told them that, oh, Joe, we won the election, and they said, wow, then Liberia is a different country. And they said, Joe is a different person. And something that I want to add here, I want people to pay attention to this. A while ago, we said that after CDC operatives, CDC campaign people from Molba Molu to Moses Akalagre to everybody else that guaranteed George Weah that they were going to win in Montserrat the first time with Polita Wade. After that, when Joe Weah said no Ure or DeLong, they win the election here. They thought they were going to win that election. It didn't happen. Joe Weah was furious, and we told him here that citizens they Allah, Joe Weah was furious. Joe Weah said, we'll continue on this path. I may not even run for second term. Because you guys guaranteed that we're going to win this election. Then that one finished. The scenario came with Darius DeLong running against Thomas Falah. They spent all the money they were giving all the money they asked for. They guaranteed the president. Molba Molu even said that if they lose the election, he will resign as the chairman of their party. And after that, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Joe Weah was angry, and Joe Weah, as we said on this platform, that I say I don't even think Joe Weah will run. People say, oh, no, don't say that. So from the look of things, this particular election, supporters of Joe Weah who are benefiting, who are benefiting, or who were actually benefiting, who also had ambition, they wanted this election more than George Weah wanted it. They wanted the election more than Joe Weah wanted it. From the start, Joe Weah was not even motivated to campaign. After winning, Joe Weah was even, reluctant to travel the country. We spoke to a lot of people. Joe Weah people then wanted this election more than George Weah. And to prove my point, at the end of the day, George Weah cares. He cares more about what become of him after the presidency. They have accumulated a lot. But Joe Weah also understood that his government was a failure. Joe Weah, and they told him, Mr. President, this is Liberia. We can still win it. Just win the second term, then you leave the rest with us. So from all indication, including the concession or rush to concession, Joe Weah wanted this, but his people wanted this election more than George Weah. And I believe this is the beginning of the end of CDC as we know it. Let me take a few calls. Ben from Minnesota, undercover sedition. I don't know what they say, undercover sedition.
Yeah,
My man, I can't make you undercover UP now, but anyway, let me hear you.
Yeah, so I think, well, first of all, there are a few things that I have to say. One is that I think one thing you guys are missing, Weah is going to be more popular when he leaves office. And I think that was a selfish move that he made, and here's why. What we did, you can't count 5 African presidents doing that. So he will be seen as an icon. He will be the world will look at him again. This is almost like
you think we will come back for the presidency 2029?
No.
Okay.
He will not come back as you will not come back to.
But maybe want to remain in the country and be a kingmaker, right?
He will be a kingmaker. The CDC is going to serve as a business for Georgia. He will use it. This is the way how he brought that other Tubman guy. Right now, few guys are still mad, but one good thing that he was able to do over 12 years, more than 12 years, was to keep those guys together.
Mm-hmm.
With all of this gruesome thing that was happening, the guy, it's like this was a criminal cartel that he had control over. He still have a kind of control over that place. The world in Africa will look at him in a much different way that we Liberians see him. This guy have won another war best again. Technically, when you look at him, that's how it looks. One thing he said in his chest today, when you listen carefully, he was saying a caveat. I could see some little fear. Georgia is not a threat for himself because there are a lot of things that will protect Georgia. He said, "We didn't go after you people. We didn't go knocking people's doors." So he is sending that warning.
Don't come. He telling us don't come knock on our door. Don't arrest my people. No problem.
But we hope that I hope and pray that Waka does that because somebody has to start some of these things. Whether he will go after them or not, we don't care. But Waka should go after whoever stole money from that country. Let him do it. When they come back when they wanted to go to Baka, we don't care. But at least it will benefit the common people. Thank you.
All right, thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. Let's go to the line here. 763 number, last 4 DJ is 4884. You look like that, McDonald Nyako. I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
How you doing, my brother?
I've been good, man. I think I'll call to contribute to the show.
Go ahead, my brother.
I heard when people say that Jeremiah could have free Johnson puppet. I don't know, that's a yellow word. So cool. You're bad with me. How many decisions will make our parents that say your decision? This man is a man of himself. He's legally married. He controls the two activities, not because he has a connection with Prince Joseph means that you be controlled by Prince Joseph. That narration is very wrong. I don't believe that. I don't believe in that.
But the message said Prince Johnson not only his mentor but his father, and Prince Johnson was the one that actually handpicked him and make him the leader of MDR.
May I ask you a question, Sekou?
No, go ahead.
How many decisions you make and your father can have input in your decision you make? How many? I just want to ask you personally. How many decisions you make as a man? Your father will born you. Can they do this or do this? You don't do it.
We are speaking politics, bro. Politics is different from family.
It is possible. Prince Johnson have an input, but don't forget that Prince Johnson, he is a citizen.
But did you hear Prince Johnson saying that he was the one that actually did everything? It's supposed to be Nyombli, it was supposed to be Costa. He was the one that made the man vice president to Bagai. It's different. That one, you know, had no opportunity of power sharing. He never had any opportunity of having somebody as having his stooge, having one of his stooges as vice president. This is different.
The fact that Aaron Costa was with JMD and he wanted to become vice president for Beto, like you are not ready. You are not ready. He's making perfect, but he took for Beto, Aaron Costa, I'm sure you are not ready yet. Okay, you're not ready. That's not a decision. I want to believe strongly that JMD will get committed for around him. And besides, after the 6th term, and he left up to the 10th years, when the government never election, the way to perform in the 6 years, they can make your
you think Jeremy can go for? You think Jeremy? McDonald, Mr. Nyako, you think Jeremy will go for 2 term? You think Jeremy can go for 2 term?
son. What will make your uncle to be
If he live?
Listen now, let's say I tell my brother.
Wow.
See, my brother, my son get down today.
Yeah, but saying that one with the new president, if he live to go to finish his term, and you are Jeremiah Kun supporter, begin. Yeah, but you. My man, don't put that one there. Don't say after the first time. Don't say if he live up, to end his term. Yeah, that one is a bad sound. Go ahead.
I strongly believe after the first term, he can be the next president for the way to perform. And I believe that at the end of the day, when he goes as president, I'm not going to be a vice president in the next election. That's my prediction.
All right. Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Have a blessed day.
Wow. Caller 515 number, last 4 digit 1506. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Siku, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
How are you? How are your team?
We're doing great. What is your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Joshua, calling from Timon, Iowa.
Joshua, how are you?
I'm good, boss.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that the general opposition will be the CDC because CPP blew her chances of being a general opposition because the stand they took during the roundup, they did not take a unique stand that will portray them to be a general contender. And I can predict again that Unity Party will not perform up to expectation, and that will prompt Joe Weah to run. And if he does, he will be the next president.
Joe Weah again?
Yeah, because.
So the whole thing that Freetown boy, eh?
Unity Party may not.
I want to move, eh?
The performance will make Joe Weah run like a darling boy.
Wow.
Based on the things he took by Printing Power over, he might win the Abraham Award. He will win an award and he will win a couple of awards. He might be appointed by the United Nations as peace ambassador to serve in favor country. So if the Liberian people turn against the Unity Party,
Joe will come back. Wow.
Mark this again, I'm making my prediction again. The only thing he need to do, he need to get rid of his surrounding. Once he get rid of his surrounding and bring credible people around him that will portray him to be a genuine and clean contender, he might likely be the next president after 2029.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Not in 2029, but after 2029. Let's go to the line here. Mr. Brody, no, I'm not sure if that's you. 4226.
Yes, Segu, how you doing?
I'm doing great. What say you?
Well, thank you very much. Let me say this to the Liberian people once again. I can say it behind the scenes to you, and I'm going to say this again. Liberia have exhibited what they call pure democracy in Africa. And let me commend the outgoing president and president of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency, George Manon Weah. I've never liked him as president, but I like him as pure citizens of the Republic of Liberia. He has exhibited what we call pure democracy, and he has gained another reward among all African leaders. And, Lord be very, very mindful, Sekou. I'm not a soothsayer, but Lord be very, very mindful. CDC is strong, very, very strong. It might not be George Weah 2029. It might be another person. But let me give you people a talking point today. Whosoever that remembered 1985 general and presidential election, when Joe won the election according to him, who he picked, it was Elua Como from Zoge as a senior senator in Nema County. He look at Elua Kobo and pick him to be Internal Affairs Minister after he have won.
Why you can say my phone, man? Edward Kumu Sako.
I said Elua Komo Sako.
You didn't say the Sako. You wouldn't say Edward Kumu 2 times.
Okay. Sorry, Segu. Elua Komo Sako.
Thank you.
When he won. Now, let me give you guys a talking point to leave today.
Oh.
I am advising the Unity Party that won this election and which the former results will be given tomorrow. I want to propose or suggest to Honorable Bakari, let him talk to Amara Kone and make him finance minister. That should be his first appointment. And we as a Liberian, 5 appointments, including Amara Kone, that will make Joseph Boakai administration good, Internal Affairs Ministers, the police director, the commerce minister, the director of maritime, and immigration. That's 6. If those 6 appointments come out good, Honorable Boakai administration will be very, very good. But let the Unity partisans and the Liberian people talk to Amara Kone to be finance minister.
But how the man will let go 9-year guarantee position to an appointed position that will have no guarantee?
Listen, in politics.
No, I'm just asking you.
Say that again.
As I'm just asking you.
Yeah, let me tell you the reason why I'm saying Amara Kone should go as finance minister. Amara Kone will do everything for the Liberian people if I'm wrong. Brazilian mom, you right there.
Brazilian mom just left for a minute. He's going to come back.
Yeah, Brazilian mom, you are right there. Cyrus, you are right there. I'm not a soothsayer. I am not a soothsayer, but I'm saying something with logic. Amara Kone will do everything in his power to bring things, the integrity among we, the Liberian and the community around and the world at large. So for this reason, forget about what he have done for the Unity Party and the Liberian people yesterday, day before yesterday, and today. It will be bigger than the senatorial position. It will be forever integrity for him and his legacy. Thank you very much, Sekou. And remember what I'm saying. And this is what will happen. Thank you very much, Sekou, for having me.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Let's go to the line here. I think this is the Brokeable Power. Brokeable Power, are you there? Hello? Caller 202 number.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What say you?
Yeah, thank you so much for the show.
Yeah, can tell your own.
I will listen to your analysis and also your opinion about me. But let me make my own point. Oh, President, we are winning the election to win. You don't win the election to pretend. Losing election and setting the result does that mean the president will not be re-elected?
No, I said I didn't say many want to be re-elected. I said but the people wanted him more than him. He wanted it. No. If the man going to be elected, he was still going to be president. But the people around Jowia and CDC wanted this election more than Jowia wanted it.
Do you listen to the mayor or the campaign they running?
My man, I know a lot. I know a lot. Even some key supporters of Jowia, I don't want to inform some of them about Jowia's decision to accept defeat. So I know a lot.
You know a lot. They say we small know a lot, but I tell you the truth.
Yeah, but I know more than you now. Don't even argue with that.
Okay, I trust you. You both are over here and
exactly. I'm everywhere.
The president wanted election to start a legacy and again.
Do you listen to the speech to the church today? The man said the thing they wanted for you to do if you agree. But now,
okay, you know what I mean? The people there wanted to stay in power, no matter by all costs. That's what it means. That's what he's telling you now. He said the thing why people don't want you're going to do that.
The people wanted some of the people there wanted like some of the people don't in that government like the way he wanna. Bro, I told you when making power, some of the people wanna make it rule like a dictator or the dictator. But Melo said no. Not because somebody criticize me, I'm going to go against the person. That was some of the situation put against it. It's supposed to that it makes so quiet, it's so cool. But for him, he want to say that going after people that are against it, does that make no sense? And that makes people vote against it. That's what he's saying. Look, let me just say, if people can make dictator, if people can make Ellie that when you hear Ellie just said it, people want eat all raw. After she left power, she began iron. When you see her say, everybody see her start smiling her. You see, look, I gave you 6 months from now, or less than a year. So it's different. President, we are being missed. Any other president that's president. I say no that.
Yeah, but I hope he will not. I hope he will not be audited and then be prosecuted and then possibly go to jail or somehow you know they reduce him to nothing.
That I want to see.
Yeah.
They don't even want to go back. They're Virginia going.
They're not going back. No.
They will go after people. They will go after people in a way that are illegal. They will find it difficult to stay in power. I tell you no.
Oh, nothing will happen, my man. Man, you're in power. You're not doing anything. Not in power. They do something. But
listen to me. Ellie Gary said her son. John went in jail for one day. You know how I call you already?
now what do you happy?
Ellie's son went in jail.
Nothing happy. Joey, just sorry for him. Nothing happy.
It's not sorry for him. I know. No. He's sorry. Demonstration in
oh, my man. My man, Labra, when you come to Labra now, they demonstration thing. Nothing, man. Let me tell you the truth. The people who are able to really put fear in the Liberian people that are Unity Party people. But thank you though.
Do you saw CC in opposition?
Yeah, but they already got something now, so they don't want to be in opposition no more. they already got something. Whatever they already finish getting, they don't want to lose that, so they're going to be very careful.
You saw CC quiet. You saw CC quiet because you're in power.
My man. Yeah, but you can't be spoiling things when you're in power. But anyway, thank you.
I'm telling you, look, when you in power, you have to maintain your kindness because in a sense that any negative come it affect you. Or if you're in power is whatever negative come, it doesn't affect you. It affects the people in power. If you saw citizens in opposition, they think of that unified in a regime as a ruling party because only or because in a general somebody that people are in the country.
All right.
So they saw the tension. Man, any city call president we are.
We gotta leave it. We gotta leave it there. Thank you so much. So Gibson came in late, and he has his camera turned off. Gibson, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Let me say this before I welcome you. I saw a post from you. Was that your mom's birthday?
Yeah, today's my mother's birthday.
I want to send a shout out to her to say happy birthday to her, and wish her a very, very beautiful birthday, and wish her many happy return. And you have also the opportunity here to wish your mom happy birthday while other people are listening.
Yeah, so thanks for giving me the time. I want to wish my mother a very blissful happy birthday. She's been one of the persons that's been there through think and take. And I want to say happy birthday to her, wishing her many more years, and hope she will enjoy the fruit of her labor. And I feel good to be on the show here again. So cool. Even though I came late, I was kind of busy because I wanted to accept certain things from the National Elections Commission.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been beyond the NEC communication man today, Henry Formula. They may everyone get fair with me.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to get the rightful information because I wanted to report it as soon as possible. But It didn't say the best that I wanted. So tomorrow
Okay.
we'll go over there to at 4:30 to listen to the NEC boss. And if we get a chance tomorrow, we'll ask the questions for which one of them are accepted from El Henry from. Yeah, I feel good to be here this evening. And I know you already go on the time.
Yeah, that's
It's
fine.
picking
That's
up.
fine. That's fine. That's fine. Because of you, we're still a little
Mm.
more. We're still a little more just to have some conversation here. So yeah, but so even though you didn't get what you wanted, but what are your expectations for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow the expectation is for NEC to announce the winner of the election. That is because from the result, from the numbers we've already gotten in possession and the National Elections Commission is that Joe Bwaka has won the election. But NEC, as per the law that governs our country, has not announced Joseph Bwaka as the winner of the election officially. So all the hula baloos, Joseph Bwaka won the election, and the controversies coming in that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf says she not agree with the result. NEC say they found Joe we had 2 million and all the blah 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 blah. These are all speculations and controversies that will have an end on tomorrow. So tomorrow is I heard somebody saying tomorrow is one of the somebody say tomorrow 4:30 will be one of the most useless 4:30s. And I'm like, how then? Because tomorrow 4:30 could be we announce the official winner for the presidential election, runoff election on November 14th. Tomorrow 4:30 will announce or tell the Liberian people whether or not the speculation that is in the public or on the media that the former president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, is not, in consonance with the acceptance or conceding defeat by George Weah. Tomorrow we'll get to know whether or not the NEC have fined George Weah 2 million for accepting defeat ahead of officials' announcement time. Tomorrow we'll get to know. So tomorrow, I think tomorrow is a very special day. That's why, and to all the followers of SKTV, tomorrow we'll make sure that you have all the best of all of the coverages all the coverage we've been doing. Tomorrow will be the best of it because tomorrow will determine that this person is our president. Even though there are other international media that have carried the news, Joe Bwaka won election, yes, but the institution that is accredited, that is clocked with the responsibility to announce results for elections in our country is the NEC. And NEC has not officially announced a winner. NEC has just announced provisional results from across the 5,080 polling places across the country. So tomorrow, if NEC have announced results officially and announced winner, then we can go now the other train. We all know Joe Bwaka won election because the number that comes in tells you that Joe Bwaka won election and the president have accepted. Today, on the contrary, I don't know what should I call it, outgoing city mayor or like I say city mayor, Jefferson Koji have said other way around, differing from what the president have said. Even though the president have considered
What
defeat,
did he say?
he said they will go to court and they don't satisfy with the result. That's what he said. When the president have also already said he considered defeat, but Jefferson Koji is telling the Liberian people today that the result were featured, and if it calls to take legal action, they will take legal action. So we want to see what legal action Jefferson Koji will take today. Because when the president of the country and the president, who the ones that lead the country, the highest seat of this country, who possess that particular capacity, have conceded defeat, and the man who is an appointee of the president telling us that the result is featured, they will have to go to court when they have to go to court. So we want to see whether or not Jeff Kochi will go to court in the absence of the president conceding defeat as a country. Today, the president said in his church, he said, "Had not it been, I disagree with what the people said, the country would have not been the way it is today." And I'm working on that. I'm working on that video that will be posted on this particular platform on this SKTV. I'm working on a video. The president said it. He said, "Had it not been me disagreeing with the other people who have been in a different state of mind or maybe in a dilemma that we all now wish for. So this is the same person that tell us, say, I'm now a politician, but they may call me over.
Yeah.
Right? The president said it. He said, I'm now a politician, but I may call me. So it tells you that this man, they just use this man as the face of everything, but they don't believe in love of country. We know this man as a person, but the rest of the other guys around him believe for themselves. They have to get it by all costs. And one of the persons said that these people wanted the election more than George Weah. George Weah,
I said that.
you said that, right?
Mhm.
Citizens wanted the result more than George Weah.
Yeah.
And from 2022, 2021, 2022, it was very glaring that George Weah didn't want to be president anymore. I can say it for free. George Weah didn't want to be president or didn't want to be president anymore from 2020, 2021, 2023. The man was already exhausted. He tired. He didn't get time for the
I
the
said
pressure.
this before. I thought that you're not even going to run. I said it on this
Yes.
that I don't think you will run. And my reason
And that's
was
it.
I felt like
Mm.
they have failed. That he himself feel like the core government was a failure. He was disappointed in the performance of his people around him, the decision making that they made him so because he was a laissez-faire president. He was somebody who kind of like hands off president. People were doing everything for him, and in the end, he would carry the blame. At the end of the day, George Weah, he was disappointed twice in the two senatorial election in Montreal County. There where George Weah understood that now it's over for me. So even running into this election, I may lose. But they told him they can make him win. So
And that's the problem.
People around Weah wanted this election more than Weah.
That's the problem because we all saw it. This man was very fed up the country with. He was fed up with the surrounding. He was tired, but he told him, "Man, we can make it." So he had to go through the process. So to see Kojine coming to say the election was like they won immensely, you can see defeat.
Gibson, I have a question for you. From talking to the people around NEC, did you hear or sense anything such as NEC system was hacked? Did you hear anything or sense anything as such?
This is something that I think is just rumor in the media. This is something I've never heard with anybody from the surrounding of the NEC, but I think it's made up stories. I cannot disprove that it is right or is wrong, but I believe it is made up story because I've been around the National Elections Commission office almost every day. Even today, Sunday, I was just around the area when some of the police or state securities were making sure that the place is being very secure and you don't have the intrusion of other people there. But I believe it was just a made up story because this is something because for the media and most of our colleagues will carry sharing stories because they feel that people will buy into it to get more comments and to get more engagements. So they will carry kind of stories. But professionally, to have everything balanced, that's what I did today as a person to do a fast check. And that's what I did to call the communication director for the National Elections Commission because this man is responsible for communication. I cannot call Defieta Brown Lasana. I cannot call Commissioner Sale. I cannot call Commissioner Josephine. I cannot call Commissioner Elwa or either of the commissioners or Commissioner Dukley. But because Henry Flomo is a communication director and had communicated with him, and he said he had no attention and idea. So once the communication man tells you that he have no idea or he has not been drawn to your attention, meaning you cannot disprove whether it is truth. Probably it is true, but his bosses have not told him yet. Or probably he has the information, but his bosses told him not to relate to the media. So because I've reached out to him So the story I can carry that I reached out to the NEC communication director that he told me that he's not reached your attention. So the
Mhm.
public will get to know that this man is telling us he has not been to your attention, because every other information when it comes to information dissemination for the NEC, this man is responsible. Everyone should go to the man for information. So the man who is responsible for the information is telling you that he has not been to his attention. Definitely, I consider that information not factual until it has been
Yeah.
proven by the NEC communication there. So
So
what the
again, another question. Now, I'm sorry not to cut you off. You can end
yeah
a
no
statement.
go on go on.
End a statement so I can ask you this question. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was saying. So once the communication message is not to your attention, we hold it like this,
Yeah.
and we'll, maybe the next time, the time it will reach to your attention, then you will disseminate it to us as media practitioners. That's what I wanted to say.
Gibson, thank you so much, so very much. So before we leave, from Jefferson Koji's statement, from information standpoint, do you think Jefferson Koji and the CDC, Jefferson Koji could be speaking in the voice of the CDC as an institution, while the president is taking a different trend? And could we see the CDC taking on that legal process while the president is moving on? I mean, how would that look like?
From when you are institutionalizing this thing, Jefferson Kochi is had an added advantage of the president from an institutional standpoint, the CDC.
Yeah.
Because Koji is the Secretary General of the coalition.
Mm-hmm.
For me, Seku, it all started, the hula baloo started in the CDC from the appointment of campaign executives for the CDC when President Weah recommended and appointed Eugene Nangbe. It all started from there. I just hope you just give me a little 5 minutes to just talk about it.
Go ahead. I mean, since you are here, that's why I want you to,
Yeah. So it all started when President Weah made that recommendation and appointed Eugene Nangbe as a campaign manager for the coalition campaign team 2023. Earlier on, the coalition executives, because if the institutional last it is that the coalition had more power, the party had more power than the standard bearer. George Weah just the standard bearer. Aside being president, he is a standard bearer for the party. And they had, and when it comes to the position or the chain of command, the chairman of the party and the secretary of the party are more powerful, have more power in alignment with the standard bearer as well. Because the secretary, the chairperson, these are people that make most of the decision in the party as compared to the standard bearer. So when the president made the announcement for, Len Eugene Nangbe, Finambono, Garrison Yelu, and the rest of the other guys on the campaign team, the executive of the CDC, the coalition, had a problem with the announcement of these people. First of them was the chairman of the party, Mobile Money. He had a problem with the appointment of Eugene Nangbe. All he thought he could have been one of those persons on the campaign team. But on the contrary, he wasn't choosing or he wasn't selected to be one of the persons on the campaign team. He had a problem for over 2 weeks. He didn't speak about any topic related to the coalition campaign team. The secretary of the coalition, Koji, also had a problem with the appointment for the president. So they came to make their own appointment of appointing Jeremiah Slonte. I think you are aware of that. They appointed Jeremiah Slonte as a campaign manager. Whereas Len Eugene Nangbe was also therefore as a campaign manager. So they appointed and they had a press conference about Jeremiah Slonte. So right after that meeting, that announcement, press conference of nominating or appointing Jeremiah Slonte, they received a call from the president that I've already nominated and choosing this man. Why you have to bring another man? Till now, entire campaign time, have you ever heard about Jeremiah Slonte running campaign for the CDC? No. It's because of the disagreement within the party. I can tell anybody the defeat of the CDC is somehow we can relate it to the public, the citizens, but it started within an inner cycle defeat with the CDC to the national level, because the CDC executive were not moving in one trend. The other people were going right, other people were going left, other were going front, and other were going at the back. That's how it was looking like. So Koji and Moba Molu, they had their own group. They believed that the president was not listening to them. So it's not a surprise. I'm just trying to link it with Koji's statement today and the president's statement. It's not something that started today or have started maybe a week ago. It's something that I've started since the opening of campaign time. So Koji, Moba Molu, and the rest of the other coalition members when somehow not moving in line with the president's decision for what he could make, because they believe that while I said the president and men are tired with the position, so he could make a decision. But for them, they feel like they have to maintain it by all costs, by all means, they must maintain it. So every decision the president made seems not favorable for them. That's how it was looking like. So Moba Molu and Koji had a problem with the president for choosing Laird Eugene Nangbe, who forced himself within the system of the coalition. You know, Eugene Nangbe, Commissioner Nangbe, was a man who, like I could say, well, I'm not sure I say chameleon or whatever, but he's a man that wherever he sees the light, he goes there. That's who he is, and he know how to play the games to go there. So the CDC people, Koji, the likes of Koji and Moba Molu, understood the intent of Nangbe, and they wanted to black him out. But the president felt that Nangbe could have done the best than the rest of the other guys. That's why you could see today, Koji could tell you, say, if for us to take the legal action, we'll take it because the election will feel like there are so many things going on in Nima County and blah, 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 blah. They say all the things.
But the man who was being elected, he has considered, I mean, how can you come up with something else?
Because they feel that the man is just the standard bearer of the party. And
because
the cities,
it was the man on the ballots.
Their problem is they believe in party thing.
Okay.
It must be the party. That's how they believe. They believe that. That's why you continue to hear citizens say the party remains supreme. So, and people, most people say, oh, the party is a court, is full of cultism or whatever. Because if the party's decisions is been taken, you cannot overshadow or override the party's decision. That's how it looks like. So, since the president have come publicly to concede defeat, which is very reasonable, is very honorable, is something. You saw the letter from the Economic Community of West African States, from ECOWAS. You saw other communication from other Western, organizations and other pan-Africanism institutions. You saw the communication from them congratulating the president, because the president understood that the country is above every individual's interest.
Gibson,
and even me. Even me, as an individual, the president said it is about my interest. So Koji now was doing it on the line of party line. They want for the party to go. And the president too understanding the fact that even though I like my party, I bear on this party, I'll be one of the establishers of this party, but the people's interest is bigger than the party's interest. That's what that led to the president's decision.
Okay.
But Koji and the other folks want to do it in the party interest, and that's how it looks like.
Yeah. Let me say this, Gibson. I can't thank you guys enough for doing a marvelous job for SKTV and for the Liberian people, especially on a pro bono basis. SKTV, I know everybody, we are all volunteering to make things happen for Liberian and for the Liberian people. We really appreciate it. So folks on here, we have stars. You can send us stars. You can send us Cash App, you can sell or Zelle by way of supporting SKTV. Because our folks on the ground, they are doing everything possible to bring you the best information and the most factual and timely information. And that is not cheap, it's not free. You have to use data. Labrador is not like here. Even here, we pay for your service, but it's more affordable with us here than it is in Liberia. Not because the people don't want to work, but they don't even have the work to do to get paid for it. So Gibson, before we close, I wanted to get your perspective on what you see on the ground in terms of the Unity Party government structure. How do you think the government going to look like?
I believe, for me, from my professional standpoint, I believe there will be, sorry to say, but there will be actually nothing different from what we are experiencing in the past 6 years.
Okay.
It's because I'm sorry to say, our fellow viewers, I know you might get problem with me, but this is just the hardcore truth that I have to say. There will be no different from the George Weah 6 years to the Joe Boakai 6 years. One reason that I say is that people continue to say the president-elect Joe Boakai will now want to get another 6 years due to age factor, which is real. So he will do everything. And the same people come to tell us, say, if you get George Weah's second term, you will not want to come for another term, so you'll loot. So if you can compare George Weah's second, if for any reason, if George Weah would have had second term, and you feel he will be looting for the country, and you will not want to come back next. So one more of Boakai who just won one term and will not come back for another term. You think about it. The problem is Unity Party have had the best brains. Kudos. They've gotten the best. That's one of the things made Unity Party to win the CDC government, because they've had the best brains. They understood the propagandas on the social media, and they won the CDC all over because of the propaganda and because of the best brains. That's why I'm going to tell people, school is not scams. If you get an opportunity to go to school, go to school. That because of the knowledge, because of how school the Unity Party hierarchies are, that's why they won the CDC this elections. So the problem is there will be no different, because the problem you for example now, Sekou, you have Brandon Samokai, who worked in the UP government and had problem, corruption scandal issues, contested for an election, elected position, won, and because of the issues in the back in the days of conspiring with the soldiers' money, he didn't take his office, and he supported Joe Boakai. By all means, this man will have a taste of the government of Joe Boakai.
Yeah.
What more would you expect from Brandon Samokai to bring to the table for the Liberian people? One of the callers here, Amara Kona should leave his senator position and serve as finance minister. This man served as finance minister and had a budget shuffle all the time. Even if, for the worst case scenario, this man leave his position as a senator and come back to this finance minister position, what the difference would that be? You have the legs of all the people behind Unity Party that miss government so much that they want to come back. They miss the opportunity that is there for a government official. So they're so eager to come back to experience that same enjoyment they've had for the other 12 years from 2005 to 2017. They miss that so bad, they want to come back. What the extra difference? Because you say the man only want 6 years. Can Joe Buckeye, for Christ's sake, this is an old man that understands politics. This is an old man that is very unique. This is an old man that is very educated, that understands various sectors of our country. But can he achieve some of the things in 6 years for which you've criticized George Weah for not achieving in 6 years? Can that happen in real life? Let's be sincere to the conversation, Sekou. Can that happen? Joe Buckeye in 6 years, can he achieve all the things in our country that George, because you had a problem that George Weah could have done more in 6 years. Can Joe Buckeye do so in 6 years? It's not possible.
So
So
Gibson, let me just say this to you and Saros and to our followers, everybody. I want to say thank you to all of you. I want to say that when I highlighted the sacrifices that you guys are doing, and ask the Liberian people, our friends and supporters and followers to support us, knowing that you guys are challenged when it comes to the data thing there in Liberia. One of our main supporters, I didn't say don't come, I didn't say I'll call his name. His name is Ben, my friend and brother. Ben sent us $100 saying for the two guys in studio, the guys from Liberia. So yeah, Gibson, you went off. I was trying to inform the people and to also express our gratitude to Benjamin Jonah. He didn't say don't come, and that's why me, I let to call and I like to appreciate people in public. Benjamin Jonas sent $100. He said to SKTV that he want us to send it to our guys in Liberia. And he was very specific. He said for the two guys in studio, Gibson and Saros. So thank you, Ben. And gentlemen, congratulations for doing a good job. You see, I told all of you guys we have working with SKTV is an opportunity. It exposes you to the word. Since Gibson started speaking today, people already know Saros for a while. Since he started speaking today, I'm saying a lot of feedback, getting a lot of good commendation. People are saying good. Not only that he's fluent, he's eloquent, but he has some grasp on the issues. He understands what is going on in the political space in Liberia. So Benjamin Jonah, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Gibson and Saros, on their behalf, I want to say thank you. I want to say a big thank you. And those of you who are yet to support SKTV, please do so. We appreciate your support. It means a lot to us. A whole lot. So Gibson, before we go, I'll ask both of you this question. Maybe Saros can go first. You can close on it. What is the expectation for SKTV in the next political cycle, in the next 6 years? The challenges and advantage of SKTV going into the 6th year of President Joseph Njima Boakai. So, I mean, how ready are you guys? You can go first, Saros. Maybe give me
yes, Mr. Kane. We are in all readiness when it comes to SKTV, especially. I don't know. I don't want to be selfish, but I can say this selfishly is that I don't know if the guys are ready like the way I'm ready, but I'm very sure that every young man here sees this as a very big opportunity. So for this reason, everybody is in all readiness to take SKTV. SKTV is the most credible, is the most reliable when it comes to source of information. SKTV is completely and totally independent. So I can tell you the expectation when it comes to the expectation as per SKTV. I can tell you that SKTV is about to be the darling media house for the Liberian people, especially when it comes to the source of information. SKTV is about to take over the entire country, especially when it comes to the source of information. SKTV can do that when our radio. I know that SKTV has been doing tremendous well. I mean, great job. But for SKTV to take over Liberia, SKTV has to be in Liberia, radio station, TV station, let the Liberian people every day listen to these voices. And I can tell you when it comes to the challenges, when it comes to finances, that is where we will have a lot of challenges. So our people need to be more supportive when it comes to the financial aspect in order to see us implementing what they want us to do, going for the news in the trenches, bringing the news, the right news, and always putting our guys on their feet. And I can tell you again, SKTV is about to be the darling media house for the Liberian people. Because the thing is, SKTV will be more robust. SKTV will be able to put the next government feet to the fire, especially the guys, because we expect out of them. They are more sophisticated than the past government that is already on their way about to be past government, the ruling establishment that is already on their way about to be a past government. So SKTV is there to put their feet to the fire, and the challenges will be on financial aspect. But I can tell you, SKTV is about to be the darling girl and the darling boy or the darling media institution for the Liberian people in the next coming 6 years.
Thank you so much, Saros. Before I say this, before I go back to Gibson and Virginia just joined us, but we're about to leave. We should have left 26 minutes ago. When we hit the 3-hour mark, we were about to leave. But Gibson come on and he came a little late and wanted to actually open the platform. Somebody, the name, I don't know it again. We frown on anybody coming here to announce of any other platform being on. You are directly telling people you'll leave and go to this other platform. You can't come and advertise against us on our own platform. If you come here anymore and write, I normally block people silently without telling them. You see, this person is on. If you come here, this Spoon Network is on. This person is on. Don't announce it on our platform. Go on your platform, go announce it there. You are literally telling people you'll leave from here, you'll leave to this platform, you'll go to the other platform. You don't do that. I know some of you have no life. You just spend your whole day from one platform to another 24/7. We had people who are committed follower of SKTV, regardless of who is on. So that your announcement, they take it to your personal page. We are happy. We don't even fight for viewership. We don't pay for viewer. Whatever we get, that's what we deserve. And every day comes with different thing, depending the issue on a discussion, depending the event. But the people we have, we love them. So anybody come here and write nonsense here, oh, this person is on, that person is on, we can silently block you. Since this is the first offense, I'm not going to block you. Don't do it again. The name is, say something, say Gonkakru, whatever, Gonkanu. Say Gonkanu, don't do it again. You say, you came on, you say, Spoon Network is on. Don't do it. We don't like that. If you're ready to leave, just leave. But don't come advertise on our platform against us. That's been very disrespectful. So, Gibson, before we go, same thing. I mean, what is the expectation? What are the expectations? For SKTV within the next, 6 years in the new government? What's going on here?
And on Centerpoint Energy to deliver.
Are you there? Gibson, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I have my mouth muted. Okay. We expect for the best of SKTV to have a very professional reportage for its audience, because there are lots of people that are depending on this platform. So whatever this platform will report to the people, they will have to accept that because they believe solely in this platform and they love this platform. There are so many other platforms across this country that are running similar thing we're doing. So when you have committed followers and supporters, they expect nothing less but the best from you. So with the kind of team we've had now and teams to join us later on, I believe not just in a year, maybe in 3 or 4 months from now on, SKTV could be one of the media houses in Liberia that will be the talk of the time. It is right now. There will be an added advantage as one of the talk of the towns of the when it comes to live podcasts, live television, and whatever, and kind of professional broadcasting in this country. So yes, SKTV, we pray and we know that all of our people working along with us, they're very professional, and we will all. That's why it is important before we post anything on our platform, it has been verified, because if you in these kind of things, you have to they have something they call the ABC method: the
Mhm.
accuracy, the balance, and the credibility of your information you will post. So once it can be like, oh, you post something and post come and backside you and come and say, oh, we're sorry, it was like this. So before you post anything, kind of verify what else it is real. And once you know you're confident that it's real, you can go ahead and do it, because there are lots of people depending on us. Having over 433,000 people following you, it is a milestone. So remember, whatever thing you do, somebody will checkmate you. Whether even the platform we're on right now, we're talking, every other mistake you make, people that are on it, that's why people you have commenters. They will checkmate you, they will criticize you. It might not even because we gotta get used to it, because sometimes you say something and people say, oh, they will say a lot about you. But you know how to pay attention to that. You have to work and build on that. Even if for the worst case scenario you said a bad thing or you said the wrong thing, you can build on that and do the rest of it. So yeah, for me, in the next 4 years, you talk about six. I don't think the institution should be based on whether the government coming in or whatever. It should be based on professionalism. It should be based on what the institution can provide for its audience. Perfect information. Whether if the government coming in, I believe the government will have a part to play too, but our focus should not be on whether the government coming
No,
in.
no, the reason why government was
Mhm.
mentioned, we don't know how open this government going to be, how tolerant they're going to be when it comes to media, how they're going to be open up to the media personnel, and how they're going to process information when they are provided. We don't know they're going to be reckless, they're going to be vindictive, they're going to be tolerant, they're going to accept the Liberian people, they're going to accept the Liberian people to get the proper information. But that's why the media had different experience under President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and they have
Yeah,
quite another experience under President Weah.
George Will.
Now we are entering another time, the other chapter is going to be closing. We are about to open new chapter when it comes to the liberal and the landscape of politics and the media, interaction and the position of media. When it comes to the media, it's very, very important. So that's why we
Yeah,
mentioned the government.
yeah.
Other than
So it is.
our
It
success is
is.
not measured by which government is in power.
Okay. So our hope is
Conclude. We're not hearing you no more. I think Gibson is
one.
having some trouble. So,
You hear me now?
yes.
Okay. So I'm saying our hope is to have a free flow of information where we'll not be intimidated, where our reporter will not go somewhere and tell you say because you're from SKTV, you cannot enter this place. It is
Yeah,
our hope. It is
exactly.
our hope that we have a better flow of information and the freedom of press will be respected. And every individual, when you're a member of the press, you'll be respected regardless of whatever media institution you're from, it is our expectation. That's what we're hoping for, to have a better flow of information and will not be subjected to certain things. I believe with the likes of UG Fakor, them, Patrick Honda, and then these are people that are from the media and they are some of the people that have suffered for it before, and I believe they will not do so to other people. But if they decided to do so, well, yes, we'll be here to do our way.
Thank you so much. I know, Gordon, how you came late. We were supposed to be out of here 35 minutes ago, but you came late. We I don't know. We don't have time anymore for today. But we'll Brazilian monk close, and then I will give you time to say something because we're about to leave now. We'll be here for more 3 hours 35 minutes.
I think kudos to the HR to the HR team of SKTV because he keep recruiting a lot of brilliant young men. It's my first time interacting with Gibson. He spoke well. He's knowledgeable of the issue, and he just brought a new perspective when it comes to analyzing the news. I don't agree with almost all his points, but at least he's kind of okay when it comes to reporting and credibility. I don't know about credibility, but so far listening to him, like he brought new insight and different angle to the discussion. The thing is, I will keep telling SKTV audience, we won't be here. Look, I've been on social media for the longest. When we talk about Liberian politics, we begin engaging social media from 2011 when Madam Sally won her re-election. That's when we had the TMZ and the discussion of Liberia. We started this thing from the beginning. But then we're talking about idea. People were talking about policy. And when people were engaged, and I don't see people that were actively involved, I don't see most of them on social media anymore because the narrative has changed. People are mostly interested in political party, political leader, insult. So it's not as interactive as it used to be. But SKTV, like we said, is a business model. We could care less about the number of audience we receive. Once you keep giving credible information, people will gravitate to SKTV normally. So for people who do financial contribution and moral support, keep it coming because in the next few years to come, SKTV is about to make some big noise on the media landscape in Liberian politics.
No.
And when you come here, don't expect what you want to hear. For y'all will be changing. For some of us, we won't change. We will X-ray the Joseph Nyiman Boaga administration just like we keep doing or we did with the George Weah. So don't expect to be like, okay, there are a few panelists on SKTV that hold this kind of a view or sentiment. The standard remains the same. Once you are the president of the Republic of Liberia, you are susceptible to scrutiny, and that's what SKTV will keep doing from now until eternity. So thanks for the time again. We will be here another time. I keep telling you, anytime available, because I did my own background check before I could put my name or my face to any media institution. I knew the credibility of SKTV. I followed them for a longer time, so I decided to be part of this thing. And I won't change my perception or my view when it comes to credibility of giving your unbiased analysis on anything. But thanks for the time again. We'll do it another day, guys.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. And then again, one thing we've told everybody that is part of SKTV, we do not censor people's opinion, and we do not control your personal life, who you support, who you don't support. That's why whatever I say, when it comes to my personal opinion, I say on my personal page. You've been following me. When it comes to SKTV, we want to remain independent. We want to remain issue focused, and we want to make sure that our people get the best from us. And that is the reason why I can get up to 10 anywhere between 10 to 15 calls and applications, pool of people, professional people, journalists, young people, somebody not so young. But we have actually, for now, we have been lucky to bring in mostly the young people, because we want to grow people. We want people to use SKTV as a stepping stone to grow themselves, to introduce themselves to the world, so that tomorrow they too can say, yes, we did it. So going how we were about to leave, we are talking about expectation, our closing the conversation today, we are talking about what are some of the expectations of you when it comes to SKTV moving forward? Because now we are getting into the new beginning of a new government.
Okay,
I want to say thank you, CEO. Good evening to my colleagues, Gibson G, and of course, Cyrus Mane. And to you, Monk, you just left. I want to say good evening from Monrovia. Wherever you are, I want to say this is SKTV. Those of you who just joining. And CEO, to the issue, right? SKTV, all right? One reason why we subscribe to these ideologies and tendencies by keeping, our political leaders' feet to the fire is because we want our voices to have a way around them, not for us to be censored. And so SKTV has provided a platform where we can exercise all of our franchise and make known, our quest for good governance and, of course, a very good space in the media landscape. SKTV has provided that medium for us. Now, my expectation is to have SKTV consistently working in the interest of Liberian people. We should not be the ones who will end up being biased. If our president-elect and his government will err, we should be one of the first media institutions who will run with that information. Once it is verified, we should be one of the media institutions who will be critical of any government or any political leader who is not in the interest of the people. And so I believe in criticism constructively. And I believe criticism is a hallmark of every good governance. A political leader who listens to criticism and any individual who listens to criticism, it places them in a position where they are capable and able enough to work in the interest of the majority. And so SKTV, kudos again to you, CEO, for your brilliant, consistent analysis and for giving us young people the overwhelming platform where we can exercise and speak to real critical national issues. This is something we did not experience in the past. For young, brilliant people like us to have to sit on such a platform with over 433,000 present, we believe this is not just a godsend opportunity. This is an opportunity for us to work in the interest of all of people in this country. And so I believe in good governance. Like I said, I believe in criticism. In SKTV, we should remain critical of every political leader. SKTV should not be the institution that be taking side. Individually, we can do so, but when we come here, we criticize you, we make you to represent, to fully represent that position in which the Liberian people entrusted in you. So if you come here or the Liberian people is complaining, consistently complaining, man, there will be consistent criticism here. For me, I'll be very critical of any political leader or any government. And there is this permeating conversation under the corridor that we've heard that some political leaders and some political institutions are planning after the 90 days of Ambassador Joseph Newman Boakai, after his inauguration, there's going to be a protestation. And that protestation is going to be for the World Economic Crimes Court. So this is an information that we've heard and we tend to let out at this moment. There's a plan for a consistent protestation for over 2 weeks, as far as a month, where opposition political leaders will be demanding the government of Liberia under the ambience of Ambassador Joseph Newman Boakai for economics and war crime code. And so this is something we're to see next year when Ambassador Boakai is fully in his position as President of the Republic of Liberia, Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia. And so we hope that this protest that will come in the not distant future.
No, I don't want to correct you when you said that. When you said you take his place as the President of the Republic of Liberia and the Chief of Staff, you mean to say in the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia? I just try to correct.
Okay, so yeah, I meant to say, sorry. I meant to say the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia.
Yeah.
Where Ambassador Boakai will be the CRC in charge. And so this is a protestation plan that we've heard, that we know that's on the corridor. And Liberians should not be surprised. I'm breaking this news because it will happen. It's something that I know that will happen. This is a plan that I'm just saying out here today. It will happen. The first protestation in this country will be the World Economic Crimes Code, because this is a plan that political leaders who will now be in opposition are already making up to have the international world and other things.
We actually talk about it briefly. That whether the possibility of Joseph Boakai having War and Economic Crimes Code, and we said it's possible, it could happen or it may not happen. But if the Liberian people call for it, like you are saying right now, I mean, it's possible we will have War and Economic Crimes Code in Liberia. But I want to say thank you, Golden Heart, Gibson, and Saros. You guys are great. I'm grateful to all of you, young people. As we said earlier, we have a lot of people, we have a lot of applications from all over the country, pretty much from all the countries. And we are in communication with people. We don't just bring people, all of you know, we don't just bring people in just like that. Some of you have reached out to us since June, you know, and some people have been with us for a whole year. But to make it official to be a part of SKTV, that was just done recently. And let me, to be honest with you guys, before all of you came on, just recently, we were around 430. But out of a sudden, now we are 433. That means 3,000 extra followers. That is a milestone. And that is because of you guys. Because of the content you bring, because of the reporting, and the manner in which you present the reports. And you guys are great. I want to say thank you to all of you. We are glad to have you all. Do your best. We'll do what we got to do. And for the money that is sent, even though they say the person that sent the money say Gibson and Saros, me and Golden Heart will put our name on that list. Because you can and take the money, they will be there looking at you. I'm just joking, man. But yes, indeed, you guys are great. I want to say thank you to all of you. And I think while we were talking, somebody else sent us $30. Let me make sure. Yeah, somebody said about the person said no name. The person didn't say what to do with the money. So that means that person is supporting the usual support for SKTV. We appreciate it. Yeah, so Gibson and Golden Heart and Saros, we got to go now. Unless you guys want to have 30 seconds to close, but I'm done.
Yeah, I think we gotta go now because we spent a long time.
Yeah, so we'll be here for almost 4 hours now. We don't do this. Normally don't do
48 minutes going through.
Yeah, you know what happened? You and Golden Heart want to keep us here longer, but it's okay.
So yeah, so let me just close up to you.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Somebody is calling here. Hello?
I just have one thing to say. Can you please post? Yeah, Sheko, can you hear me? I'm saying I just have one thing to say. Can you please post the picture and the title of each of the young men, like the team of SKTV? We need to know them. Yeah, we need to identify by face and by name.
All right. So, guys, these guys are all good people, and they know exactly what they are doing. Golden Heart and Gibson and Saros, SKTV team. Yeah, you heard the lady saying they want some form of identification of our team members. So you guys, along with everybody on board, you can work on something and make sure we have something of our team, on the page. So officially, so yeah, they will do it. The team will do it. We're getting a buy and do it. But you didn't call your name though.
Oh, this is Linda from North Carolina. And I want to say thank you for to Cyrus. Thank you to Golden Heart. And welcome, Gibson. Yeah, I enjoy his reporting. So thank you to all of you guys. Yeah.
And again, let me say this. Somebody, told me the last time about how come you getting all those handsome, brilliant, intelligent young men? How can you not bring in some young girls too? So, ladies, you are welcome on board. I don't want to sound like we are somehow, Boy Scout. No. Everybody is welcome on board. All you need to do is just reach out. We'll tell you the process you need to follow. We'll do some little background check and stuff like that. Don't worry, we're not going to check your social security, but we just want to make sure you're a good person. You represent the image of SKTV so that when we come here, people will not discredit us because of you. As long as you're a good person, we don't control your personal life, but as long as you know what you're doing, you'll be more than welcome to come on SKTV. Female, you are welcome. But thank you, my dear. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Shifu. Thanks for everyone. Bye-bye.
All right. So, gentlemen, that's it, man. We didn't have to. You wanted to close. Go ahead, quickly. What did you say you wanted to close, right? It looks like he's having.
Yeah. So, Gibson.
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm sorry that I came late. I was working behind the scene, doing some other, on scene work as usual. And so I want to say thank you again for appearing on the platform. This is our platform. I want to say again, thank you, CEO. Thank you to you and all of the reporters and panelists, young panelists who are members of SKTV. I want to say thank you. All of us that do a brilliant job. We are critical of one another, especially with information dissemination. And of course, we are on top of our game. And Gibson there is doing a brilliant job as well. So in this open spectrum, I want to say thank you to you, Gibson G. And thank you to you, Cyrus. And of course, Mato, you're there in the chat room doing, your usual thing. Thank you, young man. And of course, your brilliant analysis are making sense across Liberia. And one of these days, we will have our voices as one of the strongest Liberians in Cordon each time we appear on this platform. So again, thank you, CEO. Thank you again for giving me the opportunity.
My man, you don't want to leave here. Well, let me tell you something. The longer you stay here, something happening. One of my woman just sent $100. He said for your guys. Oh, but wait now. Today, how can they not call him my name? I said, Gibson. Yeah, I can't say for my guy. I can't say for all of y'all. And anything else for all of y'all. They said not for y'all, all of y'all. But how can they not call him my name? They say for your guys. It's excluding me. Gibson, is that fair? People not fair.
No, not actually. But what is for us is for you as well. And what is for you is for us.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, my Oma, thank you so much. That my Oma Miata. You know that Oma like I always call my mom. My Oma like I always call.
Yeah.
Oma like I know. Ha. The way that Oma suffer for in this election, the Oma spend her money, time and everything. But she's going, she's acting like a normal, like nothing happened. She's maturity is very important. In as much as she spend her hard-earned money, time and energy and everything, she stay acting normal. She stay saying best of luck to George Weah, who's living, and to the president-elect Joseph Nima Boakai. And she is even talking about how we should, do more to encourage our youth, the young people. The other day she was talking about Saras and Siddiqui, and other people to, get engaged, do more training when it comes to media, when it comes to journalism, that will somehow elevate, what you guys are doing. But to be honest with you, I have no doubt I know you are doing, great. I know it. I've been around for a minute. And I'm not only just the founder and creator of SKTV, but I built everything that is associated with SKTV, especially when it comes to the IT aspect of it. We used to have a lot of different source of putting our information out there. Sometimes we use Zoom, we use OBS, we use vMesh, a lot of different, platforms. Some are very expensive, some are not that expensive. But the reason why we cannot talk to the one we're using right now, because this is very easy to use. Very easy to use. But I want to say thank you to you guys, gentlemen. And we will talk in the back. Since Cyrus is also here, he's just smiling for all the things that are coming. But we'll talk in the back.
Cyrus is a smiling test.
Yeah, but we can just smile just because all the things that are coming. But just Cyrus now, Cyrus say, let's
Casey is smiling, but Casey is Casey camera is on.
Yeah, he's smiling too. Casey wanted to leave, but the way the teenagers are coming out, Casey was saying, but I don't want to leave for another 12 minutes.
Yeah, man, it was a great time.
Yeah, imagine for the 56 minutes of putting in, you got $200. So, I'm a beginner. I was saying, you know what? I'll go for another 20 minutes. Who knows, man? But anyway, let's leave some for tomorrow.
You have to go.
Yeah, let's leave some for tomorrow. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.
SKTV. We appreciate it. So good. Bye-bye, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to say something? Go ahead. I want to say something, but we leave.
No, I mean, like, just to say thank you to our people who, looking at our direction to support for the work of SKTV. And we promise you, it's not about just the little and out, but we will do our, utmost best to even be a source of funding to SKTV, that we can create the ambience of funding to SKTV. And SKTV is here to stay, like we said. We will recruit smart, brilliant young people, young women as well. We have to make this platform, gender sensitive. So we will definitely do that. And we want to say thank you to our many supporters. SKTV, our supporter, we love you so much. And you people are organic. You are genuine supporters. Continue to support SKTV because we're here for Liberia and we want the best Liberia. Thank you to you, Mr. Kane, for the great opportunity given us to explore our talents. And we will do the best we can as young people to make SKTV the best among all of them.
Sarah said the people that are here, they are organic. They are not a bunch of Indian people. 7,000 people. They are not a bunch of 7,000 India viewership.
Like the penny CEO who are being incarcerated.
Oh no, I'm talking about that one. I don't know about that one. I'm talking about the Indian people. The other one there, they're not my cup of tea. And don't say it again, please. All right, folks. We'll leave it there. Thank you so much.
I'm making the people that feeling my T12 on the beat. You must show me respect when you calling my name. Oh, show me respect when you talking about me. Yeah. You must show me respect when you calling my name. Oh, show me respect when you talking about me. Yeah. You must show me respect. Show me respect. Oh, yeah. Show me respect when you calling my name. Yeah. Show me respect when you talking about me. Yeah. Up and gonna equal. Yeah. Up and gonna equal. Baby. Call me the pro. Call me the shiggy. Call me the pro. You can call me the shiggy. And I do it before.